of 24 were responsible for preparing and transmitting NSP payroll data to GIPS for payment of allowances with the approval of the former NSA Director General, Mustafa Yusuf, who is now an MP, Gifty Oware Abuaji, acting from February 2021 to September 2021, and Osea Sibe Enchwe, September 2021 to January 2025. Without their explicit authority, nothing was possible. In other words, all these transfers could not have taken place without the authorization of the chief executive officers and or the director general, depending on the nomenclature that was used to describe their roles. In the 2022-2023 service year, a total of 8,256,000 Ghana cedis was deposited into an eSwitch account numbered 1177042059, which is registered in the name of suspect Osei Asibe. Investigations show that he personally received these funds. During a search at his residence, the aforementioned eSwitch card was found, and we intend to tender it in evidence during the course of the trial. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, and my fellow countrymen and women, having concluded our investigations, we'll be filing charges against 12 suspects who worked as directors and staff of the NSA. I've already listed them, but for the abundance of doubt, let me mention them again. These are Mustafa Yusuf, a former executive director, Osea Sibe Enchwe, former director general, Gifty Oware Mensah, former deputy executive director, Kweku Ohinijan, former deputy executive director for operations, Abraham Bismarck-Gezi, former internal auditor, Kweku Dechi Eje, an accounts officer, Idrusu Ibn Abubakar, former head of accounts, Stephen Kobina Jemfi, we've asked that he should be rearrested because we've discovered some new accounts that, contain some deposits, and so he was picked up this morning. So he is currently he's undergoing further interrogation. He's the Koforidua director, then Prince Agbofa Ewuku, a district director, and Jacob Yorsin, Management Information Systems Administrator in the Northern Region. We will also file charges against the following persons who are vendors on the marketplace on the central management system of the NSA in the Eastern, Greater Accra, and Ashanti regions. Isaac Osei Asamani, the owner of Stalwart Option Buy Ventures. Charles Ohomening, the owner of GH Ohek Ventures. Philomena Arthur, the owner of Brainwave Ventures. Rose Hamilton, the owner of Marine Ventures. Kweku Opare Agbofa, the owner of Franlisa Ventures. Solomon Jamina, the owner of Afarita Ventures. Haruna Mawulaya, the owner of Alfaida Enterprise. Sylvia Ntrewa Opare, the owner of Silsona Ventures. And then Peter Mensah, a legal practitioner and the husband of Gifty Oware Mensah. We have made the decision to enter into non-prosecution agreements with some of the persons who were involved in this criminal enterprise, especially the vendors, and these have agreed to provide compelling testimonies as witnesses for the prosecution. In this regard, we have agreed not to disclose their names or their details at this press briefing as part of the NPA, that is a non-prosecution agreement.
Have we gotten to that time and stage why are ready?
And I'm saying,
have we gotten your ambition?
Yes.
So be running and now running. Okay.
Yamia Duma, Enchibia.
Oh, Bohum Paye.
Enche, crack.
Enche, it's a 1 week.
mean to mean chiro that.
Okay.
Why who defo? Defo o she nkoma to boss na nkom
se.
Have we gotten to that time and stage what's your show bit to say what your mind is shining, sir?
Mean I know they won abeka. Enye me mean to mean na ha enimi ho dance. Dance die.
But so what carry who why you ready?
And I'm say enche obetimenka.
Enche better wonka.
Yes.
As to your ambition.
Yes.
So be running and now running.
Enche.
Okay.
Nyame ya adoma enche bia.
O bon home paye.
Enche cra.
Enche it say 1 week.
Mean to mean chiro that.
Okay.
Why who defo? Defo o she nkoma to boss na nkom se. Ghana emaba emrantie ene mpanimfo. Memu bedi nkita ho kakra. Fie be nwotwe atwam yi ana abato amoto ma na ado danko kufuado. Ma ya kwanya
Ho adabe nti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe. Ho adabe nti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe. Ho adabe nti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe.
Baby, when you say first na ye binumu ye shut down pe politics. Ye say politics for no man your money and your money. But na mumu e binumu so nti enyina ye ni agi say ye beboa ma o man na akoso. Na e bo 1 o'clock pe na wa ye lawyer ma o man na lawyer for enyina pon akofia koda. Nyamishra.
Oh,
ɛnɛ dɛn Ghana emaba emrantie ene mpanimfo memu bedi nkita ho kakra fie bɛn wɔtwe atwa mu yi ana abato a moto ma na adoda nkɔkufu ado ma ya kwanya ma ibidi omen so saa bre no mu ɔmampani na adoda nkɔkufu ado ma makwanya ma me begyina mu ma manfo a wɔbosomtwe enu achi no mesan ebeye deputy minister of education echire bi sa beye minister for education nam sa kwanya yi so adwuma me yeye ewo mo anim munyina mu di ho adanse ne de ma kono ye me fe ene se bia me nam bia bi hia mo a bitimi ba ho be ka kire se Dr. Duchum ye da wase ene adwuma pa wo ye ma omen me nso me da mo ase e pepa munya ene mpa abo amoboye e de ta machi ma madwuma ye no nso ebe so mo ani me da mo ase pa nyame enhyira mo ma bravo mu nyina ade ba akwa me hu se nyame e ma makwanya se me mesom esom no e de me kopie abrochimam mu o ma e frɛ no America ana California ko California nyame ye madom e ma obibini me kobie schools akese be me ensa wo ho e de som America man enche pi America emrase bedwom e bo mabaso e ma mamo e wodwuma me koye wo ho be mfie aduonu a atwamu yi enam saa kwanya no so e no mampani saa mre no onye ni mampani na na adan kwakufu ado be pie ho be hu madwuma ne hu dwiri no ka kire me se krache bragana na be boa me na mensesa emumesuam me ba ye nso de ose ye woyo osomtwefo ada Roma omoto abama me amekomra se bedwam ibedi oman emumasua anim ewo mfie na atwamu ema etimi ye adwumaden yaye bi ese be ma be ye bi na wa meye ni nyina emre ba na emre twam sabre ye party ye nhyehyeye a nyame ya adom a enche pi ombe bi ekwan ato ho ama wo a opeso otu franka wakofa krata na odudin akoka ho ame ato so aba emre no du a mo ada Roma me pese me gina bi na me nso makotu sa franka yi edi ama me party na se me dim kwanimu a mabeye omampani ama mu nyina na mujidi amunya omimu ama me ko education ministry be beye minister a mo bo abaso e wo monten so no minim say gidie no e na delegates ene wo ma akanya ne Ghana fo nyina mo beta machi na gidie no ene nam so e mema daache mo ada Roma betimi edi oman ni ne den sesan esronko a e wo abrochimem no yedi bia baha na yetimi ehu say yenso si mu akyede nenso nkachi oman fapim efri omampani odi campus so bedru sa abre no ye ba betoa so na oman daachi e be yefe medam ase nyame nhyira
Epa ho adaben
opani memo akwaba ebe epa ho adaben dwumadi so
me joso now edina do epa ho adaben kasa kwa
papa
kasa bebo
yama ne mpa ho
epa ho adaben
esia na edi hu komo nti asekyere no
yo me tiofo nyina
etiefo
se ene de
epa ho adaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe
memo aha emu akwaba eba epa ho a daben dwumadie eso ene eye yawada eda yawo the 19th day of June 2025 meeting ene Bismarck Brown menema pamfo ena enam show produced by Reynold Ajiman aka The Mask supported by a digital team Mrs. Abigail Fiankudimu tintiman papa ewe ya tena sidie said the da woni mu no ye ba besom o man Ghana ne asom wo nso e de aka ho bidin no bibi ubetimi afremi sabetimi so afremi B Brown ya tena si share me live on Facebook na yemfa nkomo no nto so ho otimi nka radio sunso a reach out to us on WhatsApp me de ehun nsem nyina ebetu dwa e de amao sam radio ye tu fa Yanko Unsuye bio unsuye juma Yanko Hey, and then so Iran by this time. We are learning of casualties on both sides. Some civilian communities and our residential facilities have been hit by bombs and missiles thrown or released by Iran. Benjamin Netanyahu so waging war in the day on Iran. There is US also in the middle of all of this. And then we'll try and unpack the history behind this war, the agenda behind this war. Utie Netanyahu a regime change and utimu se sinani super. And so I say or the nuclear war no na excuse. How will this impact the US and on in Iran and come be almost shase FIAS nuclear power no ehon? In fact, it is off the table at this moment. After Israel striking, but when they told you the kind, does it even matter? You listen to Benjamin Netanyahu, and he talks about the first strike from Iran. Iran saw no wipe out Israel because Israel in your mind. Israel so say any ono so ada no so. So na isibu so dia wan twa ma won to. Obebu nsemu ansa na wanya nsampo na ade ato. Yene our international relations analyst Adam Zegna Abudullah ebetena senior disansem we honkomo. Obeboa me ate nsem na say how it will impact Africa and Ghana. The whole oil politics around it. Is this likely to escalate other countries? France is supporting Israel. Who said Germany there? Nazi in Semuninti. They have to make amends. Almost Sujina Biate saying, "Away Kayaho named this and Komoy Emumu." But away NPP for Emra Shebeja for 60 plus members of the minority. Amache Akko, His Excellency the former Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Baomianifie. Almost set party national date. Oma sheda omo edebeto flag bearer for no swaba no omo tie no omo de nti omo ba Dr. Baomia ho ba be ka che ni so omo tai na chi pampen na saa na montuo beboa party ni de ebinim se ekuku dam saa na mo constituencies within the party no se muyi wanim se ya na modern papa mu core party na se ho. But can you really help with this? A competition never. Yahwe woman so be kwakwasra de Honorable Kennedy Japan. Already former MPs ni bi, we've seen them. Woman Honorable Kennedy Japan. Enamo woman ebon to agbon komo any amount for kasa. His last engagement at UCC, you saw the likes of the Honorable Kwaku Kwating, former MP of Obuasi West. A good number of them showed up. Former appointees in Ibinsu, Womuti, and your money more at Tainechi. And now, answer the Betoja. Former Education Minister Dr. Yao Oseduchum. And then the announcement by says a party ni be nominations I do about February. Now what pray a flag bearer position no our MPP ni mu. Na weeks before Sunday declaration of intent ibeba no na mene na hyia wo yedwubedie so epa ho adaben so ama mebusa no se eyade a wobo epo se wo be contest ana oka kire me se menya botre emrepam enche na ba. But what are people saying about Educhum? Dr. Yawaduchum. Ede na manfo kafa no ho. Ede na wo kafa no ho. Emra Dr. Brian Champon so ede ne testing waters statement bi ba bonten. Yedi hu nkomo. We called one of his allies, a very strong, loyal partner. Our tied the chidenden. The Honorable Apia Kubi. Emma Wachirechil in Semu. The internal prefect Dr. Brian Champon. And Dr. Educhum and also the Ababe Trabontene. Who is saying the more do dear? Dr. Educhum, the more do, efa a position ya war pre one. I have heard some criticism senior amountphobi analysis of sir ne candidate ya wo pese amountphoji tumuono. Ebi say only strong roots and base within the NPP because otena amanone cheye. Nano amenene ekasa odwumedie so kyereye ekwan mampani akufuado ehunu no ewo US a woto nsa de frɛ no so omra no beboa. But before then, now Odi MPP ni mutintiman wo US pa. I think say he was Washington, one first vice chairman or so. But Ghana had the na manfo nimini bebre. So say mampeni to nsa friend now obey a deputy minister. But even before then, no akwa contested bosomtwi seat no ewini am MPP. Parliament in Wakobe and Premier and San and so. But Obia what hold the Bosomchi Sitama MPP on 3 different occasions. Yet Mika say only a strong constituency within the party in terms of the roots are a grassroots nimuana. But we MPP niya, how well do you know Dr. Yawaduchum beyond the constituency Bosomchi? Nationwide MPP ni mu or you be a ususu say ni dina sheta. Will he be any match for Dr. Baumia the Honorable Kennedy Japan so ana? Will he be a strong force for Dr. Brian Champon ana? When you me the two join me live on Facebook there for comments. Once your analysis never bra I can kind be the amount. Openia President Mahama Apau no say on where a Drapo so a national coordinator Emma the District Roads Improvement Program DRIP. The Honorable Neil Antivandapoy. Ono the announcement say Dr. Duchum Nadrian say or the enema okoye education ministry ho no ba be gina so say manfo nto aba mane de ne wati. O say ho no kra na 50-50 wan shada anye wan excel bebre bi asa adentemu sa no pa kire. But Nejuma wo ye ewo education ministry ho no will it be very relevant to reasons ni bia delegates ni be gina so de ato aba na na ye mon komo ye nin komo. We'll reach out to his camp this afternoon. Na yahwe say omo response to sa ensemi nyina eba. And then we so se medical catchro ye de ani be kire Israel ni Iran na yakwa ko hese ni ntokwasem no etie and how it will affect Yemen Ghana. And of course, the history behind Santokwawe. Over Facebook akai na ema okasa ho entie na bomoden se obema okasa no so ayentie mu. Omo bi ni mu ho na ma charge enti motworo thesis pa na modeba. Yeni so eye pa. But eye na do so sa na yetimi yakan na ebetimi. Enti you go straight to the point. Let me acknowledge a few who are here already. Paul Amenosoji, thanks for joining us live on Facebook. You did so when Paul. Emmanuel Esiedu, I see you doing business, Na mo a mo tonton sa data no amanfo nyimu ni o ana mo nimu ana. Na obi ye ni program ana mo be advert ho no mo no. Ai mask sankofo no mo nim sankofo nyi o mo ni ana. Wo minimum babia wo se wo ton data bundle me ahe o se dempo I have unexpired data bundles for MTN Airtel Tigo na ma send no mo se send me data minimum monyo mo free so Adam Zegna Abudulai international relations analyst o follow diplomacy or international relations na say na me no ka say wo sua mra nso so de aka ho say be ye gya ne mu be yedu na okasa emu nso so aye deep ma me ma na kwa ba na yemfa enkomo no enhya se Adam, it's been a while. Boko there.
Oh, Boko, it's been a while, man.
Always looking sharp.
Thank you.
Ese cross for crisis strike bi beba. Mo abenjuma mu.
Jai bende.
Mu de mo te ho eba na mu di so. That's right. And I think say one person so monitor be especially the discourse within Ghana regarding Israel for strike on Iran. And conversations are ediaba oko social media. People are divided alongside countries way. There are those who have strong religious stance on the enunti no money tie Israel for echi. Even though Israel nankasa nye Christo mine. But Christo for Africa the omu who Israel say almost a Christo for, but they don't see themselves as Christians. I have seen a lot of videos in for ebusa questions about Israel and how they in the status. People are also comparing the power of Iran in terms of the military might against Israel. The US factor also so honomo ABA and the whole history behind Sa and Tokasemi. Let's take it from the top. Now, who expected this level of escalation months before Sa a first strike in the course or no?
Well, no. At some point in time, no. But to be very honest, not at the beginning of Trump's presidency, no. That's in January, no. Now me expect to say something like this could happen.
Okay.
Because say the US factor in all this. You see, this whole strike, no. I mean, this is like maybe at the first time like Israel launches a strike in this kind of fashion because they've done that before already. Okay. And ultimately who said this one they are intended intention say do the regime change. But then
is that clear? Say regime change in the agenda no.
Oh yes. That is not very clear. But if you ask them right now, the diplomatic answer to give you say Iran or nuclear weapons.
Yeah, exactly.
And see, they don't want to lead with that because many repercussions. You know that they will lose public support if they give that kind of excuse.
But who said Benjamin Netanyahu? On my hints, you know, exactly. Say this war is not about the people of Iran, but it's about the Ayatollah regime and all of that.
Yes.
No, we just want to back to nuclear power.
Yes. So ultimately he's hinting, but he doesn't want to say categorically. Say exactly. You see, and the reason why America say from the exception of Trump's presidency, I thought say this could happen. They say Trump, no, as a political figure, no, he's still a new fight. Oh no, like because say the presidency was his first public office, no. He had not gone through the mill.
Okay.
Or some grades be.
When you senator that.
Exactly.
When you mayor that.
Exactly. You see, on him, the intricacies of politics so much. Can't say because now he's been in the game for about maybe over 10 years now.
Yeah.
You see. But still, say, sometimes, senior, these foreign powers play him. You can see, say, he's
naivety
still, you see. Because from 1997, not Netanyahu now nuclear weapons wants him. Yeah. Since that time, and consistently, all the American presidents or more ignore from by that time not Bill Clinton office. So Bill Clinton, George Bush, Barack Obama,
Joe
Biden. You see, now they just ignored him. You see, and Trump is the only one as a what take beats. They didn't know what take beats. You see, So you see where I'm coming from?
That's an interesting one. My family don't call because who follow Netanyahu, the statements, the public statements about Iran consistently. They be okase omo nuclear power, and sometimes he even gives timelines omo ebe weaponizing.
Sometimes also weeks, sometimes months.
Yes, but it never happens.
It never happens.
And truly, what can someone in all of sir allegations or against Iran the US taking Ninsemuni serious.
Exactly.
Only this time around.
Yes. You see. And so it's the person in office.
Okay.
You see.
And sir presidents now, Benjamin Netanyahu kekasa nsem nyina no. Omo ho ni nyina no are more like career politicians. They've been through the mill.
Exactly. Mama, let me break it down for you. Bill Clinton, now a governor.
Yeah.
Before then, now he was elected as a attorney general for his state, Arkansas. George Bush, so now a governor, so career politician before OBD president. Barack Obama, now a senator.
Yeah.
Joe Biden, now was senate for 20-something years. You see?
Because or a career senator.
Yes, from
the politics has been in the Senate.
Say we did 80-something. From 29 years, he has been in active politics. Yeah. From time away 29 years. So look at the number of years he has been. You see, so we share the caliber of people who have occupied the office. Now we share Trump. You will not be surprised so much by some of these decisions. You see, in Omono, they didn't take the bait because they know how these things are.
Okay.
Omonim say this man has a plan, and it's to have effect a regime change in Iran because Iran has been sponsoring the proxy centers and more border. So he just wants to cut the head of the snake. Now we're free. You see, but taking such a drastic action is not a thing that career politicians be.
Okay.
You see, but no, somebody knew like Trump did.
I had a bit of experience. I read Trump.
Experience, I don't know.
Falling for the
beat. And he's taking the beating, like especially in his even the supporters. No, a lot of them they are against it very, very seriously because some of them say, when he was running, no. He was presenting himself as the anti-war candidate.
Yeah.
Oh no, I say I'm not coming to pursue war. And then so I say when Russia invaded Ukraine, no, I say it would have happened if I was in office.
Exactly.
You see, I
You
think you see, and then they are even saying that you even confessed, say they got the go ahead from you.
Yeah.
Later. And somebody from the administration
you
see, but you can see that not on your surprise, and that's because Netanyahu, spoke to him in such a way that you could convince him. And Netanyahu, so he has been in and out of the game.
In spite of Trump's political inexperience, for want of a better expression, in matters like this, or a system to guide him, the institutional memory, or you have defense secretaries they've been in the system. I'm wondering
why now?
Exactly. And why would he fall for the bait if he has
very good question. You see, the first time, Oba office, it was said, and this is from very credible sources.
Okay.
Na ohia nkrofobi. Like he needed people to come and join the administration. Okay. Now he was looking very seriously for something because Onokrara, he wasn't too sure that he was going to win. Until even in the first few months of him being in office, no, I say Hillary Clinton lost an election she should have won. I didn't know say she should have won. Onokrana on for this will win this election. Okay. You see, so it came as a surprise to him. That's fine. Now we should share a lot of people to occupy positions. Into Jared Kushner, those very close to him, Jared Kushner, Nebane Kunu.
Okay.
That's Ivan or Ivanka. That's the husband, you see. He was the one that share a lot of these cabinet people for Trump. And most of them were conservative Republicans, like Bush Republican, Reagan Republicans, and things, you see. Into Omono, they were going with that the Republican Party has shifted right.
Yeah.
You see. So Omono, a lot of them were Bush veterans. Some of them as far back as Reagan and things. So you can see even General Kelly, his once chief of staff, very experienced, Republican. And a lot of them, if you're Rex Tillerson, you see, also a strong Republican. Bush kind of Republican, you see. Until he got them on board, because of the fact that they are Republicans.
Okay.
But you see, they weren't really sold so much on the agenda, no. You see, they were still practicing the old kind of politics.
Yeah.
You see, where, America, we have to be very careful about certain things. So there are a lot of guardrails around him. And especially with General Kelly in office, at the time that Trump was president, at the time, now Oye chief of staff, he put to stop a whole lot of things that not Trump is all here. You see, you realize when he was running for a second term.
So his first term, he was well guided.
Well guided, and
but
the guardrails were there.
When this uncle for now and TV no coffee Elon Musk,
exactly. And the thing was that it wasn't going to last. Trump and the officials in his first term, because they had two very different ideologies. Yeah. And one important thing to say, they weren't ready to
compromise.
No, just to be sycophants.
Okay.
You see, now we treat the office of the presidency as, yes, you are president, but we have to tell you the truth. You see, but Trump's own is that you work for me. They make up I say, oh yeah. Do you understand? So they couldn't really, they were not compatible.
Okay.
In running for a second term, majority, over 50%
off.
Yes, he cut all of them off. Most of them resigned in protest. Also, okay, in the first term, a lot of resignations. But in his second term, up to the statement, we've still not heard of anything.
Exactly. So because yes, I must have found
exactly. You see,
we can boot like
you see, you see that
in your back so obey because when young crop be kind of crash.
No. How dare you?
Now let's talk about Netanyahu claims now about Iran. At the end, Israel feels so threatened by Iran. I mean, because there is Palestine in between there, a bit of a distance between Omuni Israel. But utie Netanyahu anoka sebia ase Iran for boni hu. A DNA sientia Emma Israel feels so threatened by Iran. I know ntomo person sesa government na ho no.
Because of the fact that so say Israel they are still even in war with Hamas and Hezbollah and the Houthis.
Yeah.
All these groups are sponsored by Iran.
Okay. Iran is showing you.
Yes. But officially Iran say they support them. But there's credible evidence by a lot of intelligence agencies say they are all supported by Iran. Into a lot of the rhetoric going on in the Israeli leadership say, let's cut the head of the snake.
Okay.
You see, yes, you are right, say they don't present a very clear, because Iran, like directly, they don't attack Israel. More like directly, only use near but almost every attack by any of these groups, these rogue groups, whether the Houthis or whether Hamas or Hezbollah, they are all backed by Iran, trained by Iranian soldiers, used to Iranian weapons and all that. For a very long time, even from 97 and all that, Iran are the problem, because all the danger that is present and clear to them is supported by Iran. The last time say, so I say action movie, Killer no.
Yeah.
And all one is small boys. Into un say
Blum and ni Crawford be
in Israel's eyes, the killer near Iran. And they have been fighting off almost small boys. That's the Houthis.
The cruise,
exact cruise no hand.
Cruise. So cruise captain.
Cruise no hand. You see. So yes, that's what it basically is.
Okay.
And it's now, they did that preemptive strike. But what has been happening for a very long time, they say, all American presidents, no Munim, say it is Iran that have been. So there have been a lot of sanctions on Iran. So they have been going through a lot and all that. But, they now more can say, like, you need a more progressive approach to things, you see. So, yes, almost supporting Israel in dealing with Hamas and all those people, because Israel is clearly stronger than all these people. I know it's not a match, you see. But with the Iran issue, I say Obama and all of us, he signed a nuclear agreement with them.
Yeah.
You see, said they'll cut down on any progressions they're making regards to developing nuclear weapon. Now, America and so they were just trying, incrementally to deal with the whole thing. But in Israel, and Israeli politics, there are some people I said they are just like the MAGA people in America.
Yeah.
Like Make America Great Again, Trump for no. Omo far right. Omo feel say all these talks and all these action in here. You see, and unfortunately,
You have a prime minister or no action man.
Exactly. And also, so there's a lot of talk about the fact, say, before the attack on October 7th, Nani position as prime minister was in jeopardy.
Yeah, it's also EBB.
Exactly. Until, in a state of war, you all have to come back to come together. There's no time for divisive politics and it favors him.
Okay.
You see, so these are all some of the intricacies behind these things. Yes.
Awesome, interesting. You'll bet me joining in with your questions and then also Adrian Chere on Nkoma ADA. We are trying to learn and unpack a Nema a share Israel and Iran and Tokwana Ekoswono and obetimi Chere Wadwene was answer Sheikh Isa. The researcher said, Bibi, the point is both Christians and Muslims should get their mouths out of this fight. It is not about religion. Yeah, that is true. Yeah. There is no religious undertone to this war.
No, at all.
Utia, two things: regime change and nuclear weapons.
Nuclear weapons, yeah.
Yes, and ECOSO. But has Iran ever indicated, say, they want to wipe out a country like Israel? And Benjamin Netanyahu makes that reference. Even though Iran anti near direct attacks against Israel, they have said publicly, say they don't recognize Israel as a nation.
Yes.
And therefore, almost that makes a lot of sense for war to happen, Anna.
Well, yes. Yeah, I won't say it is totally justified.
Okay.
Such as because when things escalate, because they say and then I say Thursday this morning, there was an attack on Israel. You see, Iran for Bombay hospital.
Yeah.
Innocent people died. Sometimes, going the abrasive way, it does not really help. Yes, because as our citizens, so why don't you find some other way, a diplomatic way around it? Because trust me, no international conflict can actually be solved by punching it out. Diplomacy is always the best way. You see, sometimes there's criticism, but say, more chess, the ceasefire, and Chester. Remember the ceasefire between Hamas and Israel. Yes, Israel and Chester. But it is always the safest option. Koforka say, democracy is not good for us. Do you really want autocracy? That is far worse than it. Democracy, it can have its problems, but then it is much better than any other system of governance. In the same way with assembly, you see, Iran, from Israel's point of view, they are very annoying because it worries them and things. But escalating it to this level, you see.
But I expect the U.S. Senate to be very angry because Trump was engaging Iran.
Yes.
Over some nuclear weapons, more like continuing with what Obama more agree and all of that. Now, Quincy, Israel, Aqua strike Iran.
Thank you. See,
I expect the U.S. to be very angry and call out Israel.
You see, the relationship between Israel and the U.S. in
some way,
very, very weird. You see, sometimes yes, even me with the knowledge in it. Sometimes what is actually going on between the two of them? A very weird relationship. You see, because Obianim say a US now, more army Israel. Israel being one of the world's, having one of the most sophisticated armies and things, mainly because of the US. But what me say, a lot of the actions that Israel takes, it's not with the full backing of the United States.
But Omuntimin Council.
And yes, exactly.
Is it not because of sovereignty?
Sovereignty, I think sovereignty...
How far can you interfere?
No, but you can interfere in you can interfere by stopping, stop sending them
weapons.
Weapons. Simple. It's simple. But like I said, because of what you've done, I won't send weapons for a while. But they've never been able to do it. Joe Biden, time of office, no, it was said from credible sources, oh no, I'm penitent. He used to call him a bad man, a wicked man, and things. No, but then they've approved and they've sent some weapons to them. You see, so
the relationship is like a father and a spoiled child.
Yes. The father is complaining.
Or complaining, but
Yes. Exactly. How would you get the child to change? You see, and there have been a lot, but the actual reason why a lot of the politicians, even if not the presidency, the senators, the congressmen and things are attached to Israel this much. And they say, you see, Israel or more some lobbyist group called IPAC.
Okay.
They go and they have a lot of money. So they are it's said that they are sponsored by a lot of these Jews, the rich Jews and things, you see. And what they do is that they sponsor a lot of the campaigns of these senators.
US politicians.
Exactly. You see, if you are going to campaign, as a politicians, exactly. They respect where the money is coming from. You see, they go and they sponsor their campaigns. Then after that, it's like
payback time.
They own them. You see, the last time, there was a by-election,
sort of,
in the US. Yes. There was a congressman that was appointed somewhere in T.
Vacancy
Bedao. And then there was an election. That particular candidate are winning elections. No. He was calling for the total wipeout of Gaza.
I see.
And it was said, and not surprising, that he was funded heavily by IPAC. So as I say, so it is not even just the executive arm that in some way, shape or form,
compromise.
Exactly. Even
it permeates.
It permeates a lot, you see. And yeah, Israel helps us a lot with security, intelligence and things, because they are their only true allies
within the
Middle East.
region.
And that's very true. But the extent to which they allow them to do whatever they want, that is where the problem is. Even so much so that today we have far right Republicans and things actually questioning what Israel has got on American politicians. Even some of them, and this is not verifiable at all. Like before I say this, some of them are saying Mossad, that the intelligence units, they have compromising
debt on American politicians.
Yes, exactly. And if you sometimes look at the way they act, even in response to some of the very bad decisions by.
Do you
understand? You see, so it's.
But how strong is Iran? In terms of the military might and the allies. So, I know by Iran was the might and the friendship. I will be against Israel.
Against Israel, no. Iran, no. Iran cannot. Iran, they are formidable. In the Middle East, no. Okay. Very.
Who is in their corner?
And no question, no. They don't really have any. Russia is in their corner.
Pakistan is there.
Yeah, well, yes, Pakistan, no more. You see, so it's only Russia.
But those guys can disturb.
Yeah, they can disturb. But you see, but let's remember, Israel have fought a war, defeating about 3-4 countries.
Yeah, at the same time.
You see, and that was in the 70s or 80s or whatever. So
the Yom Kippur War. So
yes. So imagine now, because since that time, that was when the US doubled and tripled more military aid to. You see, so honestly, and of course Israel have the Iron Dome. When they get attacked, it's a defense system and all that. To be very honest with you, Iran is formidable, but if we're going to wager a bet or anything, it's likely Israel.
Israel because of Omar Etai.
Yes, but even not just that, because right now they are on their own. To say they are so formidable that they can I believe they can take. It will be very tough, but I believe, say, they are so formidable that they can take care of them. And most likely, because they say, say what they are trying to kind, or say, almost trying to say, what's he going to do about this conflict? Or say, he doesn't know yet. He hasn't taken a decision. You see, you see. So that's in itself, like it shows you, I said, like the fact that he has not outrightly said that he won't involve himself in it. That fear of America joining the whole thing, it's damping the spirits of the Iranian soldiers and all that. So
now Iron Dome na because missiles have gone through.
Yeah. It could have been worse. But
without it.
Because even earlier in the year, there were some retaliatory strikes by Iran. Yes. It was the Iron Dome that's like
but
it BFM, that one it's not like 100%. But BFM, you see. So I mean, Israel have the Iron Dome, Iran nibi. Plenty countries so that alone should tell you about.
But Iran has a lot of drones. They deploy bombs.
Yes, they do.
Russia, Ukraine, they are there.
Yes, they actually have a lot.
And it appears said this time around, no more use drones no more.
Yes. They have a lot of these military equipment too. It is only a very formidable, of course. Like even supporting these proxy groups now, I'm supported for all these years now. It shows, they are also very formidable.
Trump, far away from Iran. America is far away from Iran.
Yeah. But
Trump has sent one and say Ayatollah Nimna or attack any U.S. installation or be releasing the full military might of the U.S. on Iran. How can Iran attack the U.S. in any way? Is saying,
well, the best for them to do, as you said, is to attack their base, their bases, installations. And they can look for the nearest US base, and then maybe just attack it as a show of, anger, or whatever it is. But US mainland, it will take a lot of effort.
And this is a Bin Laden strategy, maybe.
Exactly, you see. And then for US not to see it coming to, it will be very difficult. Say US will not see that coming to. So, how
but they once didn't see. So
yes, it is possible. It's possible. You see, but Iran.
9/11.
Exactly. But they've learned a lot from that. That's number one. And number two, Iran. You don't want to do that. Because of the man in office. You see, Trump he is the inexperienced. He's very different.
But smaller Afghanistan did it, so bigger Iran should be able to do it.
But it wasn't Trump in office at the time.
Okay.
You see, because Trump, he can out of anger just say, okay, clear them, wipe them out. You see, and now because he has his yes men and things, it is something that can
happen easily.
Yes, it's just that going into war fully, he has to get the consent of Congress before doing that. You see, so that's what may delay him a bit because Congress, the Republicans don't have that much the numbers, but
also I didn't need
you see
emotions.
You see, and the maybe what may work in favor of Trump is a lot of the Republicans there in the House of Representatives, they are all yes men to Trump. They owe their seats to Trump. Into it very like see. So Iran will not want to do that because Omunim say, Papa we there. No, somebody who can come in and tariff the whole world. Then I just say, what attacking now? You wipe out your country. So you don't want to try him.
Very well. Adam, yeah, the basic, but what other things ne ekoso? Ukraine, Russia. So far, it's saying, are we close to securing a deal? And
I mean,
I said the spotlight was so now I shifted
about Israel and Gaza, but sorry, Israel and Iran, but it's still going on. I think some weeks ago, Trump tweeted said like Putin should stop the bombing and all that. And at this point, I think it goes without saying that it's like it's almost over because I say Russia and we near.
If it is over, what it means Russia is taking over Ukraine.
Not the entire Ukraine.
Taking over.
Or it's taking over. It's like just a matter of time.
Okay.
Because Ukraine, they support the needed from US to be able to fight back properly.
And that Trump in Swati.
He has refused to do that. And Europe, so they've not. What they've been able to marshal has not really been enough to fight off.
Zelensky obenu ho.
Enye is man.
Obenu no ho pa so or cansanto. Enye so cansanto but the stance say on Russia be gina toe to toe obenu no ho. Because he thought that he would have the backing of the West.
Well, he did. So Trump came.
I hear.
Oh,
even then, cry here.
Oh, but Biden's time, no support power. Very seriously. Biden's time, no. Oh, it was very serious. They were getting a lot of support. So much so that even the far rightists in the US are almost say they are against all wars and things and should mind their own business. No,
even supported.
No, they were saying that it was way too much.
Okay.
Small, not Congress are approving package. Small. But even with that stuff, now. They were still taking a beating, but that was actually much better because even there was some time they were able to strike into mainland Russia. You see, but
no, so no, I said what to babo or snataso. Mainland Russia here, and your border area. On to Pittsburgh, near who say, and now uncle a friend is saying Moscow. I want to miss a lot to Moscow and I call mainland. I want to border area. So okay, fine.
That's it for Ukraine. It's an achievement.
So what it means, necessary, in Tokane Baby, Russia befa lands are waiting me. I occupy Ukraine. Now, Niakana Ukraine.
Most likely, and that is what the.
It's about 40% cool, and
yeah. Honestly,
about 40% of Russia,
almost half of it, yes.
Of Ukraine,
yes. And that is what Zelensky is trying to fight because on him say with the posture of Trump now, on what said the war should cease, stop throwing around bombs, and what will have to happen is that concessions will have to be made.
Yeah.
And now, they have occupied almost majority of your land here. You have to make huge concessions because Anyasa they'll keep bombing.
Yeah.
You see, and the America to their stance in it is that we are not going to lift a finger anymore. Until either you accept, say, on one fast about 50% of your land, or they continue the bombing. You see, until you see that he's trying to work his way around Trump. That's first of all, trying to also get most of the Western leaders to talk to Trump. Say, look. You can't allow this to happen because most of them are trying to liken it to Hitler. Hitler time, no. Or start when he started invading some of these Scandinavian countries. He went into Poland, and that's when Britain now declared war and all that. You see, they are trying to show him, say, things like this, no. If you allow them to happen, no, they can have catastrophic, very very serious consequences. But.
So, in the absence of America, what is EU doing for Ukraine?
Yes, that is what they did some months ago. Omokoye meeting, very very serious meeting, and now they So first of all, now they say the reason why the US was dragging their feet in this whole matter, and they say, they say NATO no, they were not paying up. For a very long time, US presidents have been complaining about all the other NATO countries not paying
contribution
up.
Also,
exactly.
US and
NATO. So, they said they are going to increase their defense spending.
Okay.
Now, people are saying, you people are increasing your defense spending because Russia is closer to you than they are to us. You see, why didn't you do that? It's not that you want to do that. You see, that's some of the skeptics' view. But the other thing to say, they want to show US, say, what you have been asking for, we have done it. Now, please come and help us with these people.
Okay.
Okay. So it's
almost show commitment.
And a very, very, and you see, history is a very nice thing. I am very, very similar to Niesi in World War II.
You
see, before World War II, when Papa Hitler or in Yamano, Winston Churchill quickly ran to the Americans. Started writing to Franklin Roosevelt, said, Charlie, but why? Because, Niesi noticed.
Hitler,
Then later on, So that's after Poland. And later on, he took over France. And Oka said, please, we need your help. So they were trying to posture themselves at that time in a way the Americans would say, okay, let's go and support them. And you see, the funny thing is, the posture of the Americans at the time is this almost the same posture of Americans today, because someone can say, it's not a war. It's far away. Why should we involve ourselves? And so the only justification the Franklin Roosevelt administration had to now go was when the Pearl Harbor bombing happened.
Okay.
Even though before then they were trying to support them a bit, the Pearl Harbor bombing now made them go full on. But they had to convince or more senators and the congressmen say, let's go and help our allies and all that. You see, so it's almost the same thing happening. It's just that this time it is with a less, this one. it is a politician that is very volatile.
Okay.
You see, but with FDR, on his own, not but his hands were tied by Congress and even the sentiments of American people at the time. But unfortunately for Keir Starmer and Macron and co, with Trump, he doesn't want to do it. He doesn't want to support Ukraine. And I told you part of the reasons, like he has a personal issue with Zelensky.
And it played out in the Oval Office.
Yes, played out in the Oval Office. And so all these sentiments about it, he's on board with it. So that's the problem.
Okay, Second World War.
Yes.
The possibility of a Third World War, where Israel, Iran are there causeway. So what brings about a world war? Is it the number of countries involved in a war, or the strength of countries involved in a war? I don't know if you understand me. A world war, not just say, I might be 50 na kabum where continue a world war na, and I say some superpowers are involved in a war. We can say we have a world war.
It is the numbers and then the strength of the countries.
Okay.
And see, if maybe in Africa is the continent that has the most countries. There were about 55 countries.
Yeah.
Say there were some war in Africa. I'm not sure some reference on a world war. Do you understand?
Even though your countries do.
Even though your countries do also, you see. But with the known world wars that happened, it is with countries with a lot of influence, a lot of power, with a lot of like military equipment that are dangerous enough to like bring the war to a standstill. You see, for a world war to happen, it should be the superpowers.
Okay.
That will be at this truth. So the World War II, now it was actually between Japan, Italy, Germany. And then who was that? I think Japan, Italy, Germany. That's one for the Axis powers. And the Allied powers, just a few countries. The West, France, France, UK, US, and then a few others. You see, so you see that it was just maybe about in a total of 8 countries that were actually fighting. Russia to supported the Allies. You see, but yes, it was a world war, and at the time too, this was also a very important point. Now there was colonization going on.
Yeah.
So France, make sure the
colonists,
the colonists, they're all involved. You see, so it's like everybody actually felt that impact. So
but this time around, if it will happen, there is no colonization going on, but it will be more of relying on your allies.
Yes.
In the case of Britain, a Commonwealth nations,
yes,
contribution to the war.
Okay. But that one, I don't think.
But if a Third World War will happen now, it will have to involve countries like the US.
Definitely.
Russia must be in there.
Yes.
China must be in there.
Yes.
The UK, Britain must be in there.
Russia, China, US alone is enough.
Okay. Russia,
because
China,
US. UK and then France to support US.
Yeah.
You see?
Exactly.
So just the fact that the main people are
West and East now.
West and East now. And the implications for us, it will be very devastating because the supply chains, oil, all that is even the Iranian conflict is even affecting oil prices and all that. So it will bring the war to a standstill. We don't want that to happen.
We don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
But we had near Kosovo, Iran, that potential to involve other superpowers.
Yes, see, because well, for Russia, For Russia, I'll be very surprised if Russia joins at this point in time because they have their hands full
with Ukraine. But I say Ukraine, it's under control as far as they are concerned.
Still, but it has had a crippling effect on their economy.
Because Russia has had a lot of support from Iran. Ukraine and any time Iran will call on Russia, they would respond.
Yeah, but you see, Russia too, the Omonim say at this point in time, no, they are a little weakened by the war.
Okay.
So
in terms of resources.
Even
men cry.
Even men, because they have to get some men from North Korea and all that. You see, if they involve themselves very heavily, they are very vulnerable. The US and people can easily beat on them. And they'll, you see, so they'll try to be very tactical about the whole thing. If they feel, say, at a point in time, the war is getting to a point where it's affecting more interest than kasa dia.
They'll go full scale.
Maybe they'll go full scale. Because this is why I'm even saying that I'll be surprised. Even with Ukraine, no one said the US was supporting Ukraine with arms and all that. Yet it didn't escalate that much.
Yeah.
You see, so yes, the ABI obviously, like I say, they like fight and things, but they are also very prudent because the US
backup.
Exactly. And they can't also be sure to count on China, sir. Because China, they are on their trajectory.
China so no business in here, no.
Exactly.
No business in here.
Superpowers like the main superpowers in the world. So they have their agenda they are on. It will Russia will not be very surprised if China on say, US almost to bomb by on boy I can say please I don't do that here. You see, because it from the Chinese point of view too, it will serve their interest that the US will be saddled in war and things which will affect the economy and things. And
then they would be taking over.
So Russia will be very circumspect.
China, you mean?
Sorry, China and even Russia too, because they know how the ripple effect will be. Because ABI support from China now, they may not get it. Yes.
Interesting. Adam FNC Hana. Africa then what's new in Africa? Now how what is new? Traore or
Traore, they said he's still getting his praises and things, aligning himself very much to the East. So like I say,
are all the beautiful things I hear TikTok and social media so about Burkina Faso true?
Well,
and maybe AI generated
just a documentary because there have some accusations.
Stories need be too
good to be true. I said there's some PR campaign. No, but it's good for a change. It's for an African country to have that good PR campaign because the West have enjoyed that for a very long time.
That's true.
And so we've been at the bar side of PR campaigns for a very long time. Almost every time, Africa then you see that they will say. There's this child with AIDS and
say Africa they come
it's for a change. No, it's nice that we are seeing that there's some African president being spoken about in a very nice light. Yeah,
awesome. It's Africa they be a kasi be a share density wa ha. Many adana Anyway,
yes.
Adam, thanks once again.
Sure,
we'll catch up with other events. I think next week they're about.
Okay.
Now, how the whole war is progressing.
Okay.
I'm hoping to host the Israel ambassador to Ghana.
Okay.
Will show you so sometime next week. I hope to. It was supposed to have been this week, but or some important engagements in Bintino. Sometime next week.
Okay.
Thanks once again, my brother.
Sure, you're welcome.
98.9 FM. Epahwada Benjumedi eni Adam Zagna Abudulai and Waten and Kano, or international relations analyst, and he helps us every now and then. Geopolitics, I say, and in somewhere also around us. Nina so. Intino na yepesi hunu ne ekọ na ehunu se ne yensu etutu ya namo ede esie me na me ho akwaba me koba ye de nkomo aka no ebremo mahu se why for ye recruitment bi omo announce recruitment bi ne ade a will be joined in the studio by the Greater Accra coordinator Emma Youth Employment Agency na yahwe ni si omani so pa. And the category of Ejuma Abeguha, Omo eye eho recruitment. If you have some questions about this recruitment, of course, so you want to join us now. Other questions, Naba, we'll be glad to read them for you. Pamwada Benjamin DNA.
Pamwada Benti Sinupi na nokre eye baako pe.
Happy International Fathers Month. We bring you greetings from E-Productions. This June, we are offering a whopping discount for production services of all magnitude, be it personal, social, or corporate, to celebrate fathers. For other events happening after June, worry not. You can still enjoy same Fathers Month discount once you place your order in the month of June. At E-Productions, we are happy to assist you in capturing special moments within a friendly budget. Call 024-2755-323 or reach us via socials at E-Productions. E-Productions, capture the moment.
Your property holds the power to transform your future. Welcome to Eclipse Collateral Management, the game changer in turning property documents into profits. We are not just another service. We are your partner in unlocking sustainable income and fueling business growth. With prime brokerage, collateral brokerage, credit brokerage, and land documents perfection, we are redefining what is possible for property owners and business owners alike. At Eclipse, we have built a primary depository platform, a secure, innovative space where property owners like you can lodge your documents and earn risk-free, sustainable income. For businesses struggling to secure funding, we provide collateral solutions you need to thrive and grow. Every move we make is backed by a rigorous credit appraisal process, so you know you are in safe hands. Find us at Adenta Barrier near Medi Moses Hospital, beside the West African Senior High School wall. Call 054-383-2466 today. At Eclipse Collateral Management, for property owners, we say, think safety and decent income. And for business owners, we say, think funding before projects.
Pamwada Benti Sinupi na nokre eye baako pe.
Welcome back. Pamwada Benjamin DNA, exactly 3:30. Ene emreno abono na medican akacho say Youth Employment Agency recruitment bi a ye pese die ho komo kakra ye opportunities are available na ye hwe said amanfo so betimi take advantage and also be part of ASR jumedie a ekoswe na onso wetimi akope opportunities ni bie isane say abadwuma de paya also be akope bi we qualified nkwan de a nyeja ho abadwuma de ye nyina ye adwuma o keri ho na wako hu school wo ho nimdi a mesere wada entene fie nka se medem MPP ni NDC for na ba power nti waye tra Ghana sika ene de aye waye na se o de also ye party ni bi nti no wo twa ma party abansa na wakode a na wana wudi wo ho abro. We'll get into that conversation pretty shortly. Now, we're joined in a studio by the Greater Accra Regional Director, Emma Youth Employment Agency, Alhaji Mohammed Judah. Waje Nebja Atenase, Menino Ebedi Enkomo. Alhaji Memoha.
Thank you.
Alhaji Boko de.
Nyamadum Boko.
Yeda nyanko pon ase papa. Minim se na watchi de ma busy pa me hu why mu t-shirts ni ade wo krom ni ade a o kan news no mu so a em say more dominate some of the headlines. Now what is new? What's the latest? Then ekoso why ewie ye di hu komoe. What is new? Dey enfufro na why for mo magana mebunu.
Okay. Good afternoon and good afternoon to your listeners. I also say good afternoon to my CEO, Malik Basintele, and all the staff 98.9 YE. What is new is not new, but it's new because
just mix it up, don't worry.
And you're new by a new. The person in say, Yaba Hanu, your person, any wooden common for YE recruitment.
Yeah.
They say a month, some few weeks ago. a month ago, our CEO went and signed an MOU with Fire Service,
Ghana National Fire
Ghana
Service,
National Service, and then Ghana Police Service.
Okay.
And the agreement was that we have to assist them.
Okay.
Or they have to assist that for us to recruit some few youths. Now, we will support them on the ground.
Okay.
And today, no, and yeah, CEO country say young call round. Now, young Kasama, why you know, be say why it's an agency that is ready to support the youth and raise the image of the country.
Okay.
And I buy any work as I mean, there say why you know any political agency, any party be there, you Ghana for there. And say you know recruitment, we are not going to look at who is registering.
Okay.
We are going to look at who is qualified to register. And that is the reason why.
And you will say name na mohe.
Oh no.
Mohe say name.
No.
Mohe qualification.
That, yeah.
So tell me about this agreement or MOU Malik Basintale ne Ghana National Fire Service ne police sign. In the case of police, is it different from a community policing model now? Why you for more what did that with police for no? How different is this MOU from existing one now or no? And fire service, it is saying how is the model going to work like?
Yeah, the model is not different.
Okay.
The only difference is how we take care of the beneficiaries.
Okay.
That's the only difference. And how you handle it. And the number you have increased.
Okay. But now first, now we need a model with the Ghana National Fire Service.
Now it will be.
Maybe
will be.
Oh, sir.
Yeah, we have been working with them.
Okay.
I can remember during the former leadership.
Okay.
At Tamu's time, Muhammad time, I was in Adan. We recruited fire. We recruited police, CPA, called them CPA, Community Police Assistants. And this time too, and when the Koduatu came, they did the same thing. And Basintele has come to upgrade it.
Okay.
I'm saying upgrading because the numbers have been increased.
Okay.
And that is the difference.
Okay.
So
from what to what?
Oh, what I know is that, for instance, when I was in Adan, I were having almost only 12. 12 of the CPA.
Okay.
Or some 15, 12 that
wow.
way. But today
the whole Adan district.
Yes. Today they have about 33 to 40.
Okay.
So the numbers in Ashama like 20 something to 30. Today they have about 47.
Okay.
So the numbers are increasing.
Okay.
But we're not looking at where you are coming from. We are looking at the unemployment rate.
Okay.
So he has committed himself to make sure that Ghanaians benefit what they deserve.
Now, CPA now more with the police for no my home assessment I heard the impact of some model no and how it is really impacting on unemployment.
Yeah.
Bibusasa because obi opeso community police assistant bia no the dream is obeba be police ni at the end of the day.
Yeah.
What is the story like in terms of beneficiaries are omotimia ended up in the police service?
To make this point clear, I don't want us to go into politics.
Okay.
But I say what I experienced. When I was a director in Adan, and they asked us to bring beneficiaries to Ewak Sports Stadium, John Mahman was the president by then.
Okay.
He told us.
This was what, 2015?
Yeah, 2015.
Okay.
And our country say, your person say, police phone, any immigration, any CPE, any fire.
Fire model, my friend is saying.
Oh, it's just fire service assistant.
Fire service assistant.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he said, at the end of
FSC.
Yes, at the end of your service, when there's recruitment, at least those who are disciplined in the CPA must be rolled into the police.
Okay.
And Malik met us and told us categorically that that is the agenda he has.
Okay.
Because you can't train somebody into such sector, like police sector, to go and work with police, know the in and out of them. At the end of it, you go home and sit aloof. No. So we want to enroll them when they finish, we put them in. By putting them in, it depends upon the recruitment of police service.
Okay.
At the moment that they are exiting.
Why administration we know ni say another community police assistance model no.
Yeah.
Happy FM
more objective ni say mo ba be yama ya fa wo mo police ni mo o ma qualified. Okay, and no na esimo.
The word is discipline.
Okay.
Yeah. Way discipline.
Okay.
And because some of them they don't go to work, some are lazy, some are so when we get to know those people, they'll feed them out. But the commanders knows those who are disciplined, who are hardworking.
Okay.
And it's supportive to the especially the rural areas. They are there going to bush to make sure the evils are scaled up for. CPF no approximately 700.
700. Baby police.
Yeah, 700. And they are happy to work because they normally go for road to do their own
Now 700 no more plans to increase and Malik Basintali.
Yeah, for now I cannot speak to that.
Okay.
But he says that he wants to see the well-being of the people.
Okay.
And I know Malik is somebody that thinks about the people. He thinks out of the box and I think Obi will
so
be
apart from CPA and FSA, DMBM opportunities being beam na wo ma emebu no amo peso mo edom ho be hye waye mu na se ne commercial bank adwuma ne maya obetimi apebri bi aye in the meantime. What other opportunities na wo ma emebu no apart from sir?
Yeah, there are a lot of opportunities. For instance, companies are asking for labor from us.
Okay.
Most of the companies.
Sectors being.
Yeah, sectors like the We've Ghana.
Okay.
They came to us and work abroad and other things. Recently, they took some people out, or they are still in the process, and other countries are joining to ask for laborers from us. So there's a lot of opportunities.
Work abroad model, no? Someone launched that.
Yeah, launched.
Yeah. Now response in it is saying
very excellent and fantastic.
For Greater Accra, Obi Opese Okoye Juma Wabonone. What is so President Mahama launched work abroad model under YEA. What is the criteria? A DMBM soon share requirements here. How can we be take advantage of our work abroad in a journal so quite an aboriginal and Kuku could be to trim this cabby?
Okay, as you share one between
can I
share one and say when they come with their own prescriptions, what they want, or like you can say requirements. They come with their own requirements. So when the requirements come, we have nothing to do about it. For instance, the one they took recently, they were saying that they were looking at the height. So in Ghana, our height is not all that okay. So most of them were disqualified. They were calling us up and down that they say my height is short, and so. But we're able to manage to get the people for them, and we are still looking for more. Other countries are coming, like. I learned yesterday I was with corporate and technical, like Germany and other people that are also coming to sign, to agree with us for us to. So opportunities are coming.
Why regional coordinator into the pressure in our too? I mean, whether we treat you and you maybe or questions in you. But your communications officer is here.
Yeah,
my man in Remubina.
No problem.
On why name and any mammy. Emmanuel Abekai in charge of regional communications. YEA. Ima. Thanks for joining us as well. Work abroad model, no, boy, kakra, the NTS because I said, that mo launch here, no, president launch here, Jumede nechi, no, emebu neni jihopa, already boys and girls in baby repair, abruchra kodeda. And she said, it is saying, dear Nidian woman, if omo person mo koye juma. Mona mako near juma no abruchra, na mobe penko for the omako. And I said, oh, copper with juma near mo neko, it is saying.
Menda wasi Minia Brown and the Juma Power, yeah, my memfa Aquina is so na mincha with tear phone na. I say Juma de Ubobi and Casana. Yes, Yeniaji. A radio send wa chimuna, a Juma 719 Yanam. I say to answer your question, work abroad model, no. One of the models are, and yet the first time I say ya launching, ya launchy be, I say, and CEO. Justin Kudia Abreso.
Okay.
Na wa we need to send abrochins and 70 a basa model na na you take here
to work abroad in the fufro.
David.
Abanda da no mo ye.
Okay.
Okay.
Na kakra mechanic say say wo the pressure kakra ato me boss so pa wa ma ewi wa katwi na nkasa wa ya de so no so ni aje no say oba na won susu sa enti na me kyerɛ mu a na ne America ne sɛ ensɛm ni bi wɔ hɔ a emi say conversation ye be streamlining because ye fi region into no ye be ye region adwuma
so do ye adwuma
say what I say sir
comes man
Matthias
you streamlining let's go
enti enema ni be streamlining na ye nya fa no from the regional level
okay
ya kwa ye region there na say ye take instructions from your mother
me person Greater Accra na me wo
enti Greater Accra ye ba work abroad se sia me no ka say there nhye no eda so ewo ye head officer ye hwe na ya toto ansa na ye wia ye nso ye nya ye slot be ba na requirement dia enya de ye hu senior all other models ye bie mu ma akwenya mebunu nya akwenya kwa ye dwuma na emi say no a se obeye Ghana ni na edikan na unni any criminal record obi a sebe onkobo okro no ana onko ye ade bia enti se oye
obi ade ewu opedwane ti no
opedwane anti na opese one wa ye dwuma enye ne saa enye no na ye ka obi a kire se oye Ghana ni mapa sebe utumi ekasa ye kasa wonso te utumi take instructions utumi ye niema kakra adentia enye niema a kire so na na obisa bibi se ye na yakopa edwuma yi anase obi na aba emi se both ways ni na ebe ye edwuma yakoye agency a ye hwe ye coordinate edwuma semi de na kire se de bia de bechi bia na ye sori a edwuma opportunities na emi se ye de ya adwene ekoso nti yen CEO Malik Basintale obehwe a emi se ndra akro post ye se masori na masori nsu de edwuma na mekọ akọhwehwe abre mabu nti yeko all out emi se last year kra yen chief ene ni executive si na omo wa abrochire sa ye edwuma muhia bibia mabu ye mabu ye wo bebre
they say ne why my say employment agencies ya omo so hwe nkrofo do ma ko Dubai ne Kuwait ni ade bia
competition no wo ho na obebisa say den na ma ye dance we are a public agency
that's true
nti enye bibia keke ene ye beko ena ye nso nsa emfa nkwahya amanem ye nso nsa sebe ya tete nsam ni bia yetumi de nkrofo ko na ye sizi omo passport ya tete bi enye no na ye ka ye de ne ye pay dwuma sub meaningful decent employment wo kwa wonso betumi ama wonsa akowa no na wonso wabeboa Ghana no
na me busa na wo se sisi ade wo headquarters level akase mo slot nti what is it yeah I was see a marriage in bia slot the number of people are omo allowed so betimi abo omo anya dwuma wa brochira na
impempi no special model say no we no na ya na different from na your friend of traditional models traditional models ni bi ni a o kasa mfitiase o kan CPA fire service no eno wo hodata eno de ye no contract base na ya recycle na ya sen afa bi we no na ya na akoye special models akwenya no beda ho a na ye nso ya hwe na ya toto ho nsem na ye no mako intino eba se ya eya na numbers no dodo nipa e betumi afa na entumi nye pe to say CPA be fa bibre over 5,000 sometimes 6,000 but we need the eya na e streamline na say ye hwe nso na ye scrutinize ye because ye do fi o minim akobe fufuro nti eya na numbers ni limited ye be kanisa nti ye be hwe na ya chema region bia enko ba se ye hwe woni ana wudin ti yemfa there be na emum say ye kakra bi kra na ye 200 anampo 400 na say ye che na region 16 na obi enya kakra nti ye mpempi ni sa na ye dwuma
so say active models no ye the traditional ones I mean say CPA ni FSA they account one you read in the news say Zoom Lion almost sanitation there no abawie almost akasese akwenyan foforo ne ba ya de almost so ba behwese mba be dibia so in the meantime one more a pra kromu under Zoom Lion why model no one more yedin na how are you taking care of them
I mean that was CBM me say send American fitiase
Greater Accra
exactly send American fitiase no ensem ni bi wo ho a yakoye region ni ntinu wadaroma
say region ha no mo won kofo epra
ya won kofo
model
exactly
so they under you
they under us
sisia na contract na ba wie no sa kofo na wonder you no mo plans for them ye den na ekoso
senia ubi say ya menya ntiase no ye me say just like other models no to say other models na Zoom Lion so omo pra no a contract base. Inti no sesi a sene abeda hɔ a wo nso yɛ away em say aban say why ye the contract no on renew for this year. Inti asema aba me no ka say minim say our managerial level for ni na executives ni na no be hyia atoto ho anamo na se kabia ye de omo pra no enso ye ne omo akasa na ye time a be de betu omo ka nti akoba ni say ni de asema aba but me boss wa he de me say omo status as at now say bia ochina omo ntoa so nye edwuma na omo ntoa de no de yentumi mfi yempem and declare
but say do mo ti
twen omo edwuma no omo ye se ne ameka no yes ye renew de aban so renew but akase why ye nso from head office nso ebe tro ana ono nso de na no beka say okay mo amopra no emi say afi de mo nso mbetumi de mo niema egu na ye nhwe ka bia aba na bia ebetua mo ka na ye befa nipa fofora afi nso biom se ne wa wo kan ye no se tendering bi ebeba na omo so so mbebe de a me no sie yentumi nkyere bi kra na zoom lion na asan ni competitive tendering asemka eno na bia hu kra nso possible eno nso possible all scenarios are possible nti bi kra na hu hia se ne ode ne prayer anani way to form obekọ ekyiri bia na asan ayeden afre na nti na make say ye betwa instructions from our chief executive officer regarding the status of the active.
But for now, they are not active.
I would not declare that.
Are they still sweeping?
They are still there.
Well, me busasa because they one ebe pra. The regional director.
Yeah,
they are still sweeping.
Last 2 weeks, some of them came to Obimwaba head office.
Okay.
Abe meeting chief. No council say. He's ready to pay their money.
Okay.
But they are making some auditing around.
Okay.
So those whose contract have not finished, they are on ground working.
Okay.
There used to be youth in smoke making, youth in alata sevena making, youth in basketry, youth in poetry. Those days are no. There were all of these models are never. And then in terms of vocational skills, acquisition of skills models, and it's saying what models are there now and young people might take advantage of.
Okay, Medase Brown. Let me say, Ubeshe why you media if 2016 ebra yenya airline in nano. You media na sesa bebre. There have been pragmatic shifts from the traditional models.
98.9.
Let me say skill development and as yeni was so because ye hu sense anu djuma no eno ana de o man impuntu be den ebe koso nti efi let me say aban a etwemu ekọ me management have seen in ano there has been consistent effort to broaden the skills development nti oba skills modeler your modeler friend is skills training na under skills training na ye hwe carpentry you training crofo in carpentry you training crofo in electricals you training crofo in POP yes you training crofo in plumbing yes under this skilled we entered into partnership with a private company.
A very important part because it's a Togo for the just many in
POP no.
POP carpentry tiles need your magia for cry.
As for mine say ya dream fisu kakra say na bia ya bebo tire kwatena office me say ya be mistake kese pa nti no skills need e koso na your friend skills training that's all. Me jedi say CEO Malik Basintale Abe obehwe na afi the numbers no any requirement ni na ye de atuja na ye science wo business we call it business assistance program and no so ankra mo wo modwuma na ye hwe na ye tua modwuma ye fo ni bika ono boa wadwuma no na ye nso yabem na ya boa se na be ya nso ka ebe ko fom ni na ho why ye
na me young person me bie madwuma ketu
bie wadwuma kaka
me workers be me ensa na why ye boa me ma metu obuka
wetua me boa nti me fa na mama no alawa kakra no no nso ho ahen eba waketu asemu
eno motivation e den na share
entrepreneurship ye promote entrepreneurship
nti amanfo be bie nnwuma afankofo
exactly so wadanfo akọbua police for ebi out the way nyasa akwenya no ba nso utumi wo edwuma Emma unsa kwa no. And also ye be so unsa. Ye ma we adwuma no enko from ni na.
And currently more entrepreneurs or more under this model why you support to
more be serve wa me ne o ka say de ye gusu ye verification aban na asesa nintin ye hwehwe o mu ni na na.
Okay.
Ya hwe ye next step.
Okay.
Say ye betre mu ana say ye be ye impact assessment na ya hwe ni mfaso a e de abre o man na ye hu ye next step. Ye sign so the fashion.
Baba kono Kaseɛbɔ de M1 pa no menim se mo model bisa. Say be entrepreneur me am be madwuma kakra bi. Okay, so my busa question way. How do you determine business how we be support it?
Okay.
Mo ceiling be it must be a business a mu workers be at least 5 at most be 7. I was say e be a nisika semugina say criteria na e den bibie me shop bia me si me entrepreneurship na maba na ase den
say yakoye aban edwuma ninti ye bibia ye to ye mboase na ye
okay
98.9 wo business e wo Ghana ha na che say say to me registered business it say wo to me nya ho nkrata enye say bia o sorry ya o say
lawyer pampam store as me business.
Now, what register into the you say our tax, whether directly or indirectly, to contribute to.
Okay.
What trends say you Ghana ni? Now ye agency aye hwe mebu nti. Now ye sign the ni so ekọ mebu.
Ti age ni here.
Age ni hu here.
Okay.
Age ni hu.
Na mo definition of mebu ni ye
ye use 18 to 35.
Oh how?
Ye
35.
18 to 35.
Maybe you too.
Oh, that's you youth.
I be a youth.
See a shame so na say.
Me be very early 40s. And obi 35 is too.
Ye behwe.
Mu pije mu kakra.
What propose ye behwe.
E bi mu so ho a obu nye youth, but do me a youth at heart.
That yes.
We need pass so na young boy.
Okay. Inti na yeah ye di ni so ekoho na se ne awo kan ye edwuma afia was started ono a e4 so kakra o present ne papers na wo hwe mu out me hu say or try over 2 over 3 enko ba say obi edwuma o employ nipa be say 200 and 300 we gina dada eno de ye be hye de ye ni kakra but na ya hwe mebu ne omo ya
Sakasa no your communication ya careful be she dey you ani kakra no mampani bi ko kai mu nya asem
Matias ma twa asan no in the future no say yetumi try atabe mu na say sikasem enso kosura ye betumi atremu afa microphone sa into no requirement ni de bia no ye hwe ne mrakwan mu because we are a public agency and all our operations
must you be involved in entrepreneurship and as a service. And I director be fair no ma say bia me pese me beneficiary of this business assistance model na why you for supporting me na me tua me work as a car what kind of business na what say me provide a service me manufacturing and I said
me say eno de nia uye bia na as long as within the laws
to come center kura na maybe
a communication center say edwuma na wo ye utua ho tax also contribute to communication development what fanipa
okay
assembly any ho companies a bar program used to be let me say I was then even serving in the monitoring department printing presses be pharmacies let me say schools a big private schools so we house my fanipa kakra ni na nti edwuma de be tech companies those into service software engineering installations marketing, mass media, we were into all of them. Yes, and we published all these companies that are verifiable. It's not that they were kept away from the public.
Now, what's the minimum allowance, Amutia? More a cut across one amount across, and I say it depends on.
In a flat, in a flat rate. Into a Juman, you senior you police now. So your catch say, see, if you are now 800, you be to me to 500 amount. If you Jumera, also be to me the 300.
Into Monday, a Jumera and a check.
Ye tia ye dear. Ye money who ye no so my you are here or them utia. Now boy am I so.
Mohuni move to me
until if you are utiano 900 as an American. Yes, we be to me. I'm an say amount. Yen then ye flat.
Okay.
And yen ko ba say we do senior staff. And my but omo boa we dwuma kakra na ya support.
Okay.
And na ye apparel and textile and so. And also ye behwe na afi
into money.
Ya enkrofo mu pamade ye wie ye ma mu machines ne ade omo ade best started dryers. Ni na e be san yakoso bi.
Okay.
Malik Basintale account ho asem.
Okay.
Ye be tre ye hiem. Mebu na pese sua etri ye ade pam makeup ni abebe ya. Obia benya akwanya.
Makeup ni se mebu no mani aba so pa o.
It's cow.
Sa
Beauty enhancement.
98.9.
Na oye bia eboa. Nti obi nya na edwuma na ode no so aye edwuma ba ko no so ode be generating multiple streams of income. Awesome. The agency is looking at all this. So our main focus is the skills development alongside the traditional model.
Wow. Awesome. Now, Regional Director, so far in office, how's the experience like? Oh, you're a politician.
Yeah.
So far, 6 months, why you Greater Accra? I want to believe you're enjoying yourself already.
Oh, it's a headache.
Is it?
Yeah, not headache as such.
Okay.
But it's headache in such a way that they are rushing on us because of employment.
You think they back?
Yeah, only even as now you be up, you can see that there's pressure on the ground. And every day this one call. So sometimes you have to use your common sense to analyze things for them. I just want us to let Ghanaians know, especially people in Accra, that the app is still on. They should go in and register. When you register, you take your copy and your particulars that they want to your district office. Every district have its code.
Okay.
And to register, now they are called district comma YA office.
Okay.
You will be now yama district managers ne can say almost 40 list of people who have registered, who have qualified. So almost 40. No, they are bringing your region through online.
Okay.
So through there, also select, take them, scrutinize them, and find out, fine-tune them, and send them to head office for them to start work. Okay. But if you don't register, you are not qualified. We ain't even foul. Whoever you are, we ain't even foul.
There is an app.
Yeah, there's an app.
I don't know, but my call register also.
Yes. Apply ya.gov.gh.
That's a site, not an app.
It's a portal.
That's a site. It's a portal. That's not an app. Okay, patch your portal address in there. Somebody apply.yea.gov.gh. Okay, apply.yea.gov.gh. Okay. No, baby.
Before we go, I will give it to you.
So okay, I'll give you the link.
The link is there.
Or boy, no, Shemudi anese bieno, ebina uraho. Uraho anese wa fill form na ho. Okay, so many can say maybe registration form no portal na chere me. apply.yea.gov.gh. Na okọ a obehu YA registration form no ho. There are a number of steps you have to go through. Uwie ni nyina na chese wa submit na wa twen response no very well. And obi a only access to internet so betima ba mo office no be register.
Yeah, we have asked all district managers to be in office.
Okay.
To assist them.
Okay.
So pressure is on them.
So what Omoba district office na hard copies number failure and I said you have a computer there mobile system no online or
yeah, we have laptops, we have computers, and some of them use today the world is
smartphone.
They use their phones to do it.
Okay.
It's very easy. It's very easy. And we are ready to assist them.
Okay.
And we are assuring them that it's not going to be biased. We are just taking
a whole because
no, it's not going
to this perception say you must know a constituency chairman. Belong to the party and so on. Because why Ejuma the perception is that the party for party for Ejuma why na MPC this sort of out. Why na MC for the PP and for shebe be near the na the notion is that men can't go for who they are made Ejuma ni benye. What's entisa?
For me, sitting down here, I've just
register.
Just register. compile them, bring them to me, let's sort it and let them because they are all Ghanaians. Let's do it that way and see how best we can help them.
Okay.
When another models come, we do it.
Let me ask you a political question. You've been when there's somewhere civil servants. We say a political question. So, what do you estimate would be your impact as regional director after the 4 years of the NDC in office? What will be your legacy?
Oh, my legacy is to make sure Ghanaians are okay.
How do you measure that?
Yeah, I'll measure that because, as I said, when they register, and I'm not be able, I select everybody. I don't put it politically, select it politically, just everybody that register, and they go to the field, they realize, this one is MPP, this one NDC, we are all into the game. I think if you ask him, he's here with me, I can say, let me quote it, he's an NPP. Yes, I brought him here to talk. I have who can talk, but so far he can do it. I say, join me, let's. Wow. I don't say because you are this. No. You see, this is one of the things that we are doing, and Africa, we don't develop. We take everything political. Public service is public service. Yeah. When I go to the field, I go with my PA, we go to the field. When the time reach, we go to the war field, fight, the winner comes and take over. So my legacy is to make sure that everything is okay for people of Greater Accra. The Greater Accra youth get their maximum number of employment. Whatever comes to them, what belongs to them must go to them. Okay. That is all.
Awesome. You appear to be getting a lot of accolades on Facebook right now. Okay. Akwesi Ajay Ochre said the regional director is very hardworking and his human relation is excellent. He should continue working around for the teeming unemployed youth. This one is from Akwesi again. Akwesi says kudos to him and the regional team. Arrested Don Bassett said he is going to be the next MP for Ashaiman. Chairman.
Chief.
Yes, so be the next MP for Ashaiman. So what the house from that?
Oh, I have been a youth organizer in Ashama for 8 years. Okay. And currently deputy regional youth organizer for 8 years. Okay. And now YA. So politically, I am abreast to all.
So your next step would be to attempt parliament?
Oh, Almighty God knows best. Yes.
May I pass about at the right time we'll go into that. Thank you very much. Okay, so you're from community here. Are there any phone numbers? Me a frame or so, and I said, if you have, you can put the numbers out so that I'm on for me a frame.
My number, your number.
Okay.
Happy FM 98.9.
Okay. As a brown, my man, that was it. Say. Wakwenya ode ama ye ni asopa me the numbers yi ebe tuja say prospective applicant bia ehia moa say even ono ankasa kra ntumi ye na say obeba office na ya mana ye district offices nini na eye open ye wo staff are on my radio ombeboa anytime bia obe walk in at all district we have offices for the region. Me operational number A2. Okay. As a Bibinia to me afraid some direction to our district office.
Well, what number?
For operations purposes.
But your operations in common abidi also. And my friend Kofan come of Frobia Manaka, Chamimumo na, me watch
and the 024 009 35 okay. And Messiah is 024 009 35 07. Bibiania on betumi afre anopa na enwumre ebedi omuso na yabo. Awesome. That's it.
Meso madam wasi bebre wie na ya hwe ni mu se through you no Ghana mebu no ebinya adwumaye Greater Accra Employment wa hapa nti won so akoye region be de miawani na mambebu ni bebre nya ba bi nhye nkankane ayi work abroad no and the here man for pa nti no ya hwe obi na ma me thumbs up ochiro me kan work abroad no when you my Hassan can work abroad. Open your own. Anyway, we'll leave it here. Alhaji Mohammed Judah, a Greater Accra Regional Director, Youth Employment Agency, on a year, ni team, and a boom, a buyer. Na me patre Emmanuel Abeka or in charge of regional communication. Ono so me dana se. On any PU nso ka ho bae. PU ba musa din bodin ka ka kire me. Danjuma.
Ali Danjuma.
Wow, nice one. That's bebre. Ene ba munso mobile be chekire ensem mu. Wo leave it here, but the better na ehoni akwa ba ye koba enkomo aka nyina nso so ye de nyina esum. Stay and stay ebasisia.
Ho adabenti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe. Ho adabenti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe.
Happy International Father's Month. We bring you greetings from E Productions. This June, we are offering a whopping discount for production services of all magnitude, be it personal, social, or corporate, to celebrate fathers. For other events happening after June, worry not. You can still enjoy same Father's Month discount once you place your order in the month of June. At E Productions, we are happy to assist you in capturing special moments within a friendly budget. Call 024-2755-323 or reach us via socials at E Productions. E Productions, capture the moment.
Your property holds the power to transform your future. Welcome to Eclipse Collateral Management, the game changer in turning property documents into profits. We are not just another service. We are your partner in unlocking sustainable income and fueling business growth. With prime brokerage, collateral brokerage, credit brokerage, and land documents perfection, we are redefining what is possible for property owners and business owners alike. At Eclipse, we have built a primary depository platform, a secure, innovative space where property owners like you can lodge your documents and earn risk-free, sustainable income. For businesses struggling to secure funding, we provide collateral solutions you need to thrive and grow. Every move we make is backed by a rigorous credit appraisal process, so you know you are in safe hands. Find us at Adenta Barrier near Medi Moses Hospital, beside the West African Senior High School wall. Call 054-383-2466 today. At Eclipse Collateral Management, for property owners, we say, think safety and decent income. And for business owners, we say, think funding before projects.
Ho adabenti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe.
Kwesi Nicole adjoine me ewo ahoma no so. Ronnie, otime nka Happy FM su ne me mo hada wase.
Meji musumicha wo ni weti efonia. Bibi aboko de.
Obo ade adom ye ho ye pa na wo so e.
Me ho ye.
Na chairman boko de ne ho ye.
Patro boko me ho ye.
Se no kasa boko ne ho ye, me hwe ne family statement obo de betu dwa asanya boko sa.
Oh, in fact, later the can aware. Later in information it's on my truck or my party. You see, for now, the chairman there, yes, preparation, or acquire treatment. But for now, they are okay.
Okay. Party any chairman kita hudie fi so yare yet saying.
What mean you?
Party no any chairman kita hudie fi so yare ye no et saying.
Oh, so the idea that they say that is a party there or constitutional following case of anything. But for now, the chairman Nakasa officially no. In the meantime, no be the statement, but no assign for me party. Maybe this is its agenda, any program person yeah. Moving forward. But for now, the health need a first priority.
The health need a first priority.
That's right.
Da bena abusuano tro ebre party say wono de hye no babia na ho de adu no ontimi nye active e wo party no mu.
Party in the second letter, and it means material radio say na ebusia for natural.
Okay. Bibusasa because of Abusiano statement na letter na womo chroye no any issues ni bia omo erezi ewomo because I think say the last 3 paragraphs of almost statement omo chira the family learned of a circular from the party headquarters signed by its general secretary about a convened party meeting to be held at Alisa Hotel on June 17, 2025. We are concerned, deeply saddened, and object to the fact that Steve is scheduled to chair the event, although it is known to the party rank and file that he is indisposed and incapacitated to be in attendance, let alone chair the function. So, per this, say, party nim say oyare pa want me and function as chairman. And so omudi nidia to program so to circular mu say wono na obe chair a meeting no. And then mama busa sa question.
And I can't say in the beginning it's a party and one mamre eja obi enim de meeting and anochna. It is a meeting consonant chairman so or heading meeting na the chairman meeting with Tiniamba. According to your party constitution, the first vice will be taken over. No chair meeting. In the area, an area, no, and no for me meeting. Chairman went to Niamba, and a vice Nakasa take you over the meeting is supposed to come.
Yes, Metiasiepa, but what the family is indicating is I didn't know what's a party they didn't dim to program, so I will make one situation.
And I made sure at the time we issue statements, the chairman issue statements. So I make us a chairman Akasabe issue statements who are clarifying a lot of the issues now are about saying. In the right time, the chairman Akasabe official statement.
Chairman, or the capacity so or no an official statement ana. Or the capacity, mental capacity so no abeti issue a statement ana.
Oh, no, didn't say obey me. Say, on Tia, and I said, I'm a mess of a bit for no, but obey me, so bit me. Yan train near my type, the BBA better before.
Party, a quite a party first who said chairman yare, or trouble or one.
And then I make a chairman, I can't enter from my party, so yare.
Inti officially, you bet me a casa party name ya where say chairman yare.
Yes, in fact, officially until the Busia furniture letter and party now.
So, if the family creates the impression, say, party nim so I are no more than 2 programs, so then they are being disingenuous, Anna.
No, make us say right now because I politics and I family issue. At the right time, I believe Chairman Akasa and I say the right channels we'll hear from them.
That was a conversation within this week. Mene Ronnie Kwesinuko, personal assistant, the chairman, the national chairman of the NPP, Stephen Ayesu in team, mene di a home komo. But Emra NPP omonek meeting ni ko na wie no. Ade general secretary Asian Central for Emma Central for update as to eneme party na enimu a wo mo ba beye ene epo a omo kobo wo NEC meeting ni mu. Na Ablekuma North constituency came up in the press conference and UTA general secretary of the NPP Justin Kodua na ocheche mu say Ablekuma North outstanding parliamentary elections na ababeye mentime ho ase no omo de blame no emma Ghana Police Service esane se eye womo na womo enye womo adwuma yie no nti yentimi declare eye Ablekuma North elections no na omo say omo de omo ba be taking a series of actions going forward na omo de advocating for the declaration of Ablekuma North results no. Na in person me call Ablekuma North awie na biko busa MPP for any NDC for ewo ho se ede important na eye challenge no eno nti yentimi declare Ablekuma North elections no empempenso be na yedu where are we now in terms of Ablekuma North. Mekwa homa no so on one line Opening bakwa odi NDC amanyoko no mutintimai ewo Ablekuma North constituency or your constituency executive member. Your friend Charles of Fair Donko, but do na animuno as Wafa Yao. And I do na ede a friend no my memo fire kwaba Emra Homan so for Atimin can happy FM Sunemi Mohamo Kwaba. Ewe boko de.
Yame Adam.
The doba de ase.
Boko. The Pahua da Benti. Yame so Agaroma. And Kwaho and Hodin so.
Yeah, the Yame. On the other line, Unia Alaji Labaran, or no, and so a former presiding member, Ablekuma North Municipal Assembly, and Osanso, a leading member of the Honorable Equia Efriye, or parliamentary candidate, my MPP, or Ablekuma North constituency. Alaji Labaran, Otiminka, Memoha, Eba, Epahua Dabenso.
Oh, Mejuso, Mejuso.
Now, yeah, when your power had them Ablekuma North na, and your man ko ye, sir. Mame Enshase with Mame Enshase with you, Alaji Labaran. Boyemu say Ablekuma North parliamentary elections, no. As political parties, MPP and NDC, as someone of my council doom pempes or bang. Where are we now?
Yo, Unia, the way the medicated me too, Punina. Now, Master Damasi near Queen Madamami. I'm just hoping to ask me, the American Ayatiawa. They say, I'm saying to Abani, everyone pinching by ye, but still like me bomb, what in United or what it. You see, goes to here. Echo easy on regional office. On the now, Menoka say your quality, man, Menoka say, I come here and sample. I did money basic. I know now, I'm so official, listen to I can and probably say, I come here and say, Nemo here by Embo. Now, wait to me, I can come here and some says the need no matter declare, said the Ubia will win the election. Until Ubisa, yeah, not be ye do no.
Okay. Mamenko of Ayaho, Nabi Muso Nonso, from the NDC's perspective, in Pempensobe na yedu. Ewo Ablekuma North. Is it also 3 outstanding for NDC for so now? Of how it is saying ho.
Bibi mama a tier for NTS say and ya no credit say outstanding akasi say ani a trip there be returning officer Ewo Ablekuma North. Your friend Vincent Obi Mopa mo friend Musano. Onu ankasa any central for share no or say out of 281 there are pink sheet and a man so on the 10th of December they declare a rabra a winner or a candidate elect 219 but 219 we see 281 a 62 that 62 no only pink sheet. Only document the crowd back the back aya collation. What me a declare. And the original sorry to declare Rabra as a parliamentary MP elect. So I say it is a we back at a train winning. Almost effort did call fan for and almost pink sheet to be a yes scan. Which that can and so me no can say if the center bank say fat scan pink sheet aya collation. Because a loss, electoral loss now, CI 127, no, and maybe and where a lieutenant officer, obey the pink sheet banner a scanner, and a short copy, which is also a decoration. It's all no own team, you should say, no. It is a Obibia at 2 parties, no, Obia primary source document here, and family, no, so, they and no, and the MPP say only be. On one case, the center of being so say only be. If you say only be, not then that's a way. And yes, I will question police. Say, oh, Mamma, Bambo, never a declaration. No, I'm running here. A quampa as a faso. It's a young stand and say, they're here 62. We run. They in a young share, but they are no credit. They are 12 any year. You found 219. No, not the way you know. young money near farmer non parliament and Abricum of 4 bread and the baby will be Samia and Catre or what a sister too.
Okay. Alaji Labran.
Yes, sir.
You may be a course wa moken kanya ebeka 3.
Unia, the course when they say first of all, my main tackle, I got 219, they declare Rabina. I know only need you to say, see, I 127 now. And Mamra etiquette about one of Ebu Etias Adiano. If there's a cat, I can't sister to a deeper, I'm going to like a to Abba. And they say the climate was 219 and not 62. Governor Wahano, that governor over 13,000. I young kind of count, then the other climate so now we win it with half of the results. I don't unconquer that. Unia or about some copy as them. Last year, I call our regional officer, I call coalition, and I'm Milabra, I'm representing the party, and I organizer. On almost suit your president of the organizer and currently MC of the municipal assembly, and I'm research and elections officer. On I'm a candidate to know near PA or the school more or more in our more. Not can't copy now, more and just can't copy into Muno. Maybe, Bisono. I'm a research officer, no more than number one business. On one council at the photocopy, we are working to be the town of Penduin to Muno. Yes, we are not the Diabo, I'm the Baku and room at the night. Now, me who and the most at for praise to know. One look up and say, on one domain, not almost smart. If it's a who work the idea, we are represented. And my G2 or Mujana by G2. Now, Banya can carry an edu baby. Electoral Commission will recruit my mouth from no Mubejuma. Young officer from the presiding officers. Now, presiding officers are we are who share about one of our police station. Be the real man kind, no man declare we win our 8 police station. 84 years, a million cano. Omuka, they get a competition now, even as I speak, you almost more than half of the original pink sheet. Natama no mia so omunji entumu no na efise omso munni bie no omugwa aya de omuobi no dia itia ni se yen iti na referee no enti yiti nkofo no employ omso mo be adwuma ma no presiding officers enye iti na form enye pipi na form itia se me fami mama fo na ba na me nkofo ne ba ya di aya sheet ne atu omuni ma no o ma hwe so efiso nya ko na ejina o hwe ohun aba obi enya enti o hwe to a no ojitu se ampa aya bay and NDC nyai when NDC nyai onya kwaji tuma ye isia affiliate no mu yeduma enye yen na ye kutu omo that one isi de omo nyina bai madodo na be confirm say no pre ye aduma the end of push or police station no aba e rap na enya ni aba e na bo efie nso enya ni omo digitu mu ane na ya kinkan ya amenia anya ya ba du be ya make say aka 3 ya isi e ka so mu hia ban bo den dey isi to hia ban bo titu ni say the last year, you call Bataya. Almost that in Nambia, Nanka, young train. They are no more with the original organizer. I am not going to play you. Upon the boy. Let me and can say, oh, bye. I'm the then if you mean say any ambition, go and go to you. On the sense, you know, Bataya. My easy publication. Easy, I do to me a press release. Then yes, you are when you have a press station or have a pipe of Mulliver that says your Munima. Oh, Mark, I will press release in his say. I didn't hear Yama say, I can't trade. Not 3 no we have buying when I'm said, I know buying 120. They are NDC for ever by year winning. Meaning I thought yes, here. And as I rerun now, I'm working can be the moment. Yeah, rerun election our himpa. Police station be a destiny. You are 2 about police station. You are 281 police station on the Blackman North constituency. You have to about 7 December police station now. Yeah, near for about every year friend is sorting. That's a heading. Yeah, we are to send ye. Yeah, we are near your tabulation, near your counting. Yeah, we are near tabulation or police station. Yeah, we are near declare we will win your police station. Yeah, yes, I didn't answer for being to a police station. Unya, what is sent to come back to a police station? You are blue man of now. Baby, yeah, we are eating fans to how. Yeah, it's the answer. One time it will be a funny statement of push. I have about being nice as I did tell police station. And not to tell us that every people to a ban of panel. What we are no Kojima, and also 2 years we are no 2 points. And he said, be honest with who said, and you may have can and do be a and the statement of push to Salio. Okay. The time I had declaration, who knew who feel baby who quiet and buy, I know who said, oh, aba number 2 na no pa no ya kan ni be na mini ho no ni ayenya ni sa ni na itebo o ti say to ko bi to police station
Alaji Labran Alaji Labran obe humi so ho ama me na makọ fire ho na mabusa fire o fire wo say aka 62 polling stations
yeah
unia Labran say aka 3 mo kasaya no I've been trying to research on the electoral commission for so akeka fa Ablekuma North elections no and it appears to say in the electoral commission's estimation no aka 3 outstanding polling stations are more quality o 62 now wo kano Mamimbusa have you been part of attempted collation exercises ahodo and the very one Alaji Labaran refer to no obobo wono mu ana omo wo homa momo side no na wo hobi eba ne say na mo si aka 62 polling stations and the MPP and the EC are saying aka 3 outstanding
bibi
ofa me too
yeah utie me a won say oka say you see nga employ POs which is presiding officers
no correct
yes
sir
na omo ka say omo anya scan pink sheet bi eto omo na no omo verify en say am pass ya omo ehu wo ho no eye no kura na let's an oka bibi sa process no electoral process eye nipa baako adwumaye ansana presiding officer and a returning officer and a UC official ubaya bibi no na SSA we all the agents both MPP and NDC no mu gina ho na fe wa fra upi ona wo employ no no verify say yes the kita on e no kre asaba me no kai obisa NDC from your national executive to constituency executive sir ye mu bia ni wa ye agent a sabe e ma amukọ collation center obi ani wa only MPP and then you and ana omo eya sade no
but what is say obubọ nkofo a omu free mo side course dwumadie na say
no before then no obi bi abotre mami before ye collation our regional anu kwa ma mfre ye
okay
e media for through mo na mo leak information ma say yesi akoye collation bio our region nti mumra videos wo a show na the chief executive Ablekuma North or in gratitude interview na oka so on several occasions and this for your friend even happy at the time and no friend POs so I'm verify and check the omo aba anya no ye no kre no omo kwa ya no ye no mo hwe na POs no bebre so yes ye ni mo ye no amudi nkogba no kwa mo say ebi on phone ni ya friend say ye hu signature say ya forward the akire no eye wo ebi no deny say nya wo ma fortunately for Ghanaians and then Ablekuma North no nipa miensa na NDC wo ho MPP wo ho media mo wo ho no omo bae no omo chere say there be documents na mo dey bebu no no enya me na me say ba ko say signature ya media but figures ni bibia e wo so no nya me na me try
okay
na asesa
munim ofa woni bibi me ne wo kasa me ne wo ne Alaji Labaran e kasa sisi electoral commissioner ejina parliament war briefu parliament on Ablekuma North elections no ne me ye say me pese me crossing over to parliament wo hu na yentie from the electoral commission ankasa the status of Ablekuma North outstanding elections no na ye besa fremo na ya to aso
answer na no
Alaji Nyabotre
what I say impeni say utiri mu fanya nti amu abosom de enku
we de ye kwaba Alaji Labaran ofaya ye kwaba na
Election Security Task Force requesting for a meeting on the completion of the collation process. In a response to our letter, the Ghana Police Service indicated that to ensure a peaceful and successful exercise, the Election Security Task Force has begun the consultative process for a convenient date and time for the meeting with all stakeholders associated with the exercise, scheduled to be held at the National Police Headquarters. On the 4th of February, the Commission wrote to the NEST, informing them of the National Election Security Task Force, informing them of the Commission readiness to attend the proposed meeting aimed at discussing the collation. Again, in a letter dated on 17 February, the Commission wrote to the Ghana Police Service to inform them about the urgent need to conclude the collation process as the request for adequate security. This was after the conclusion of the 2 outstanding Council of State elections for the Northeast and Ashanti regions on Monday, 17 February 2025. The Commission invited political parties to an IPAC meeting on 26 February 2025 and followed it up with another meeting with the MPP and the NDC on Thursday, 13th March 2025. The NDC at the meeting raised some issues and followed it up with a letter to the Commission to address the issues raised in their letter. The Commission responded to all the issues raised by the NDC in their letters dated 17th March and 30th April 2025. Among the issues raised were the lack of invitation to participate in the collation process, denial of involvement in the collation of the 25 scanned pink sheets on the 21st of December 2024, and concerns about the use of scanned pink sheets purportedly from the New Patriotic Party during the collation on 5th January 2025. On 28th March, the Commission again wrote to the Ghana Police Service and informed them about the 3 polling station results which are still outstanding and the need to complete the collation. In the same letter, the Commission requested a meeting at the earliest convenience of the Security Task Force to agree on a date for the completion of the collation. At the scheduled meeting on the 10th of April 2025, the Commission was informed that the IGP had traveled to Boku as a result of the conflict and will be briefed on its return. On 2nd May 2025, the Commission wrote to the Election Security Task Force requesting a meeting on Thursday, 8th May 2025 to discuss the collation. At the scheduled meeting on the 8th May 2025, the collation process was scheduled to be completed on 15th May 2025 at the old headquarters of the Commission. Before the date for the collation, the police invited the Electoral Commission for a meeting on 13th May 2025 and informed the Electoral Commission that there was a pending case at the Supreme Court with respect to the Ablekuma North constituency, and further indicated that because of the legal process at the Supreme Court, they were unable to provide security to the Commission for the completion of the collation, since that will amount to contempt of court. In a letter dated 15th May to the Ghana Police Service, the National Election Security Task Force, the Commission informed them that our attention has been drawn to the fact that there was no injunction application pending or any process that prevents the Electoral Commission from going ahead to complete the process, and further requested for protection to enable the Electoral Commission to do its work. Furthermore, in the letter, the Commission requested a meeting the next day, that is 16th May, on Friday, to agree on a date for the completion of the collation. The Ghana Police Service, the National Election Security Task Force, in a response to our letter, informed the Commission that the issue of the completion of the collation of Ablekuma North constituency parliamentary election result has been referred to the Office of the Attorney General and Ministry of Justice for legal advice, and further stated that in the view of the referral, the National Security Task Force will hold on until the legal advice is received. Since then, we have followed up with the police and they have indicated they have not received the advice from the Attorney General. We have also had productive meetings with the 2 political parties about how to complete the parliamentary election collation at Ablekuma North. In the last meeting on the 12th of June, the 2 parties came with 2 perspectives to conclude the election. One of the parties stated that the process, the collation should continue, whilst the other party stated that there should be rerun in 37 polling stations. To conclude, the collation process in Ablekuma North has been very, very transparent, participatory, and accountable. The agents of the MPP and the NDC have always been present throughout the collation, as well as the media. The evidence of what transpired from the 9th of December were captured by the media, and this shows a transparent process devoid of bias, and it was open. The parties agreed to the use of scan sheets and their agents approved of them. Mr. Speaker, this has been the process so far, and the evidence exists with all the major media houses that covered the collation. Mr. Speaker, the collation has been transparent. As a commission, we are desirous of ensuring that the people of Ablekuma North have a representation in Parliament. We urge this Honorable House to assist us in getting the support of the Ghana Police Service to provide the requisite protection to enable us to complete this collation exercise. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Honorable Nelson Eche-Damfiamapo.
Speaker, that was a long answer to a very short question.
So, honorable members, let's hear the owner of the question if he has any supplementary questions. Yes, honorable member.
Speaker,
any supplementary questions?
Anchor my supplementary questions on Article 45C of the Constitution. Speaker. Speaker Chairman, with your leave, let me read. The Electoral Commission shall have the following functions. C, to conduct and supervise all public elections and referenda. Speaker, the answers provided to this very short question by the Electoral Commission are firmly anchored within Article 45C of the Constitution. They have the mandate to organize, conduct, and supervise our public elections. The implied powers are also that where you organize a public election and in pursuance of Regulation 36 of CI 127, it got disrupted. You have the power to organize a rerun of the elections. You agree with me? Are you the Electoral Commissioner? Nyindam, are you the Electoral Commissioner? If you like, go and take the seat.
Honorable.
Go and take the seat.
Honorable Dafiamapo, please address the chair.
Mr. Chairman, Honorable Nyindam, you are ignored. Electoral Commissioner, you agree with me that in pursuance of Article 45C of the Constitution and also in consonance with Regulation 36 of CI 127, where you exercise your mandate to organize, conduct, organize, and supervise public elections, and same got disrupted by no fault of the Commission, you have the power to call for a rerun or reorganize that particular public elections. You agree with me?
Is that a question? Yes. Deputy Commissioner, you have the floor.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. In as much as I agree
yes or no, that you can explain.
No, it's not yes or no. In as much we... Hold on.
Honorable Dafiamapo. Honorable Dafiamapo. Honorable Dafiamapo. Honorable Nelson Dafiamapo. Honorable member.
Sesia Neotie AM Rashebedwafie, Deputy Commissioner of the Electoral Commission, Dr. Bosman Asare, Akwam Rashebedwafie, all answer questions Rashebedwafie a file efa Ablekuma North constituency outstanding parliamentary elections no enwo na wa answer questions no ba ebidida. Second question being so ba obusa yenko back to parliament na yenti.
Deputy Commissioner will respond. So please don't direct the way you should answer the questions. So, Deputy, you may go on to answer the questions.
Chairman, thank you. I was going to make the point that if in the wisdom of the commission there should be a rerun, the commission would do that. But in the Ablekuma instance, the evidence of the results, we had the same instance in Dobikwa Benya. We even went to the extent of collecting the tally cards from the agents of the parties. So Ablekuma, we haven't reached the point where the commission will say we don't have the results. So when we try and we cannot get the results, that's when we will resort. So the rerun will be a last option. So once we get to that point, we will do. But as we speak now, the commission is ready to proceed with the collation. We just need the support of the security agencies to enable us complete it. Thank you.
Very well. Yes, Honorable Dafiamapo. Nelson, may you shift to other. Charlie, check your mic and let me see. Check your mic. Check your mic and let me see.
Sabotage.
This one is working.
Okay, so there's been a question from Honorable Dafiamapo. Obusa say Anyebiano Electoral Commission consider say omobeye rerun of Ablekuma North elections na near Dr. Bosman Asare can say for now the rerun assembly by omo aye ready say remaining polling stations no omobe quality results no na ebase was omo aye rerun ebedu omobeye nemumo no for now there ni omo wo nyina no ade ombetimi ede a quality results say ni omo ye wa Ablekuma North to the omo ye wo Domekwa Benya to the extent that they even use the tally sheets of agents and the quality results no. So they haven't exhausted avenues omodebe quality results na no biaka say any rerun. No let's go back to Parliament.
To explain, and they won't permit me. So he proceeded to speak about Ablekuma North. That was not the gravamen of my question.
So can he go on to answer that question?
Yes. I want to hear him answer that question.
Administratively, I will say yes.
Great.
Yes. Next question.
Mr. Speaker, no, I don't have a last question. No, it's not even about leader.
Honorable member, just listen to me, please. Go
Speaker,
on and answer. Ask the question.
Mr. Chairman, please. I've spent some time in this house, and I know when leadership on the other side, when they are doing this, I know how they do it. Mr. Speaker, my question is this. The Electoral Commission has just told us that upon the conclusion of the elections in Ablekuma North in respect of the parliamentary elections, they could not account for some pink sheets. They could not. To the extent that they had to accept 25 scanned carbon copies from the MPP. To the extent that the Electoral Commission says that they have accepted scanned carbon copies from the New Patriotic Party. Mr. Speaker, this fact is not supported in the laws that govern the organization of our public elections. It does not. Speaker, let me read CI 127 in respect of
Honorable
Regulation 43.
Can you ask the question?
Speaker,
you've laid the foundation.
I am laying the foundation to make a point. It's supplementary. I have been here. Your supplementaries were like 10 minutes just to build it.
Honorable, go ahead. And
Mr. Speaker, Regulation 43 is head noted Declaration and Publication of Parliamentary Election Results. 43.1, subject to Regulation 42, immediately after the results of the poll for all the polling stations in the constituency of the returning officer, officers have been given to the returning officer, and the returning officer shall, in the presence of the candidates or the representative of the candidate, or no more than 2 counting agents appointed by each candidate, assemble the results from the polling stations without recounting the ballots in the ballot boxes, except where there is a challenge by a candidate or a counting agent in respect of a specific ballot box. B, fill the parliamentary election results summary sheet as set out in Form 1D of the schedule. Speaker, the procedure provided for declaring the parliamentary results as set out in Regulation 43 of CI 127 is very clear. It's very clear.
So what is the question,
So
please?
the question is that where you have pink sheets of the Electoral Commission tainted, they cannot be accepting any other electoral pink sheets from any other political party. Speaker,
honorable member.
Speaker, please.
Honorable
Speaker, so I am putting it to him. I am putting it to him that the story. Listen, please.
Honorable Dafiamepo.
Speaker,
please
please
ask the question.
Chairman, please. I am putting it to him that listen to the question. I am putting it to him. You are a layman, so you won't appreciate it. Putting it to him by way of question. Mr. Speaker, I am putting it to the Electoral Commissioner that the story that they took scanned carbon copies in the absence of the officially designated pink sheets from the Electoral Commission is irregular in terms of Regulation 43. And therefore, it has no basis to be counted and to be factored into the declaration of the results.
Honorable
Speaker, I put that to him.
So is it a statement or a question?
Speaker, in other words, what I'm saying is that the story he has told us breached Regulation 43 of CI 127. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm putting it.
Well, Honorable Deputy Commissioner, did you get all what he said?
I'll try and respond to.
Okay, answer the
Mr.
question.
Chairman, I think one of the things we need to state is that from the Commission standpoint, the country has made a lot of progress when it comes to electoral democracy. And the EC is mandated to do whatever is necessary.
With all due respect, he should answer the question that he can explain his answers. Yes, I agree, then you explain. No, I disagree, then you
Honorable
explain.
member.
He
Honorable
start with a story.
Honorable member.
Please.
Honorable Dafiamepo. In asking the question, you went round before asking the question. If he is also responding the question in such a way that you and everybody here can understand, please allow him to answer the question.
Mr. Chairman, I take strong exception to the phrase that I went round. I quoted the law.
Well,
I quoted the law. No. I quoted the law to lay a foundation to suggest strongly that the story that they had to borrow scanned carbon copies from the NPP was contrary to the provision 127. That is what I put to him.
So, leader, you've asked the question. Just allow the Deputy Commissioner to answer.
Mr. Chairman, in my response, I indicated that when one of the parties brought the scanned copies, it was endorsed by the agents of the other parties. Let me also say that the Commission disagrees with the question because the Commission is mandated to ensure the integrity of the process. And as an institution, we are very careful. We don't do anything to set a bad precedent, which will go a long way to undermine the country's democracy. So in Domikwa Benya, when we had to go beyond our reach, to even reach out to agents of political parties to bring tally cards, we did that. So what we are basically saying is that we need the support of the House so that we can complete the process, because we think that it is unfair that the people of Ablekumanov don't have a representation in this August House. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Dafiamapo.
Speaker, the Electoral Commission, in responding to my substantive question earlier, indicated that sometime on or about January 24, 2025, in pursuance of a High Court order, they were mandated to go and do a recount in the Ablekumanov constituency. If that is the fact, then I can ask my question. Is that correct?
To complete the collation.
Oh, please.
To complete the collation.
Good. So, do you recall that as part of the court order, the court order in question, you were specifically directed, because part of the complaint before the court was that your returning officer was not permitted to lead the process, and therefore the court directed that go and rely on your returning officers to complete the process. You recall? And yet, in going back to do the recollation, you did not use your returning officer for Ablekumanov. He was not the returning officer. The returning officer for the December 7th elections was not the returning officer you used for the recollation for Ablekumanov in pursuance of the court order.
Yes, Deputy Commissioner.
Honorable, the returning officer for the Ablekumanov constituency has not changed. So if you have been watching the proceedings on TV, the same person has been doing it. So check, please. The same person has been doing it.
Honorable, if exhausted, Honorable Dafiamapo, if exhausted, you have not.
Mr. Speaker, with all due respect, I have not. This is my last supplementary. If you are not paying attention, please.
Honorable, ask that. Oh, what is that?
If you recall,
Honorable,
the first one was rephrased.
Honorable Dafiamapo, just
Mr.
ask
Speaker,
the last question.
Mr. Speaker, let me say this, that clearly the Electoral Commission, in the present circumstances, based on the facts he has brought to this house, is incapable. Oh, can you be quiet? Can you be quiet and listen to me? Speaker. You are a senior member of this house, so take your time. You are a senior member.
Honorable Marty Indam.
Mr. Chairman.
Please.
Mr. Chairman, I am saying that based on the facts submitted to this house, the Electoral Commission is incapable of concluding the matters in respect of the parliamentary elections in the December 2024 election.
So what's the question now?
So the question is that would it not be prudent for the Electoral Commission to exercise its powers under Article 45C to declare a fresh elections in Ablekumanov? Would it not be prudent?
Well, you've asked your question on Deputy Commissioner.
Mr. Chairman, we are capable of concluding the process. Thank you.
Well. Honorable members, you've asked a question. I'm looking for those who have not asked questions. Yes, Yes.
Okay, so nkɔmɔ free Emrashe Bejefiu no Deputy Commissioner of the Electoral Commission Dr. Bosman Asare FAC a barrage of questions from members of parliament Efa Ablekuma North constituency outstanding parliamentary elections the issue of scanned copies nipping sheets Aba up the day. Let's go back now. Other questions. Eba any response.
At the moment, is there any court order that is preventing you from declaring Ablekumanov?
Yes. Deputy Commissioner?
No, please. We are only waiting for the security agencies to provide us the protection to conclude. Thank you.
Yes.
Please, can you give me your attention? My last question. You said it is left with 3 polling stations. At the moment, the ones that you have collated, do you have the results and what are the figures? What has been collated now?
Deputy Commissioner, are you minded to answer this question?
Yeah, we don't have the figures here.
Well. It doesn't have the figures here. I'll give you one. You've already, so yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I want to ask the
what? He has answered. Commissioner, respond.
Please, we don't have the figures here. We are left with the 3 polling stations, then we'll add everything up. We don't have the figures here.
Well.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Chairman, I just want to ask the Deputy Director, in a reasonable man's view, how long will it take the commission to know? Let me finish the question before you come in. So, Mr. Chairman, I'm asking, in a reasonable man's view, how long will it take the commission to come to terms or to understand that the people of Ablekumanov are not represented in this chamber, and for that matter, waiting for the security agency in that collation to declare the result will go a long way to affect the people of Ablekumanov. Rather than doing so, you just need to do the needful, which is the other option you know. Thank you very much.
I think on the contrary, we think that the security agents should be able to do their job. And we've had several meetings with them. So we are hoping that they would, if they tell us that tomorrow they are ready, we are ready.
Well. Yes. Honorable Efia.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Chairman. And let me commend the Deputy Commissioner for the EC for the detailed response to the House. Mr. Speaker, according to the Deputy Commissioner, all processes have been done to the point that it's left with only 3 polling stations to be completed. Now, with the issue of security, if they write to the national security, the security task force, and they are unable to give them timelines to help them complete the collation exercise, what have they done in escalating this issue of police assistance to any higher authority beyond the security task force? Have they pegged it above the security task force so that we can get it done?
Yes.
We haven't escalated it beyond the police because in my response I indicated the police said they were getting advice. So we are waiting for them to write to us based on the advice for us to proceed. So we haven't done any escalation.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. So in the event where now they say they are seeking the opinion from Attorney General, and the Attorney General over the period has not gotten back to the EC, is it the position of the EC that we are going to stay in abeyance until when? And so can the EC tell us, beyond the security, you have the mandate to provide the people of Ghana the final results of Ablekuma. Beyond the security that is not available, what can the EC do, since you have the final figures as at now, to give it to the good people of Ghana?
Yes, Commissioner.
Mr. Chairman, EC, we report to Parliament. I know until recently the Special Budget Committee, but now we know the Committee on Independent Constitutional Bodies. So we give it some time. If we are not getting any proper feedback, we'll write to the Committee on Independent Constitutional Bodies that this is what is happening. And we know that the police are there to serve all of us. And we believe that the Parliament should be able to invite them to explain why they are not doing what they are supposed to do. Thank you.
Well. Let me go to... Is it Kuma? No. I mean, yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let me thank the Commissioner for the answers. And then my question is on the issue of the cost items he itemized going downwards. He talked of the era that at a point it was $13. They brought it to $7.
Honorable member.
And they brought.
Honorable member.
Yes.
I think we've gone beyond that question. That was the earlier question.
Mr. Speaker, I'm coming. Mr. Speaker, I beg you, this house is a house of records. I beg you. Mr. Speaker, this house is a house of records. If we are doing registration and the commissioner decided that they were not doing registration at various polling stations, and that they centralized the cost on members of parliament to carry people to come to places and register. And today, the costs were borne by parliamentary candidates. And now you tell us that you reduce costs. It's not a fact. It is not a fact. We bore the cost. We had to carry people from left, right, center to go and register. It must be clear.
Mr. Speaker, let me thank you so much for the opportunity. I heard the commissioner or deputy commissioner saying that we have only 3 polling stations to finish with the collation. I'm asking him, with the 3 polling stations, is he going to collate with original pink sheets or a scanned pink sheet?
Yes, Deputy Commissioner.
During the last exercise, when four pink sheets were accepted, in that same meeting there were supposed to be 7 in all. So all the presiding officers of those specific polling stations have confirmed. So, but we don't know the figures, but the returning officer has all the details. So we believe that once the environment is created, the returning officer should be able to do the work for us to have a member of parliament for the Ablekuma North constituency. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, the question is not answered. I'm asking him, is he collating with the original pink sheet or a scanned pink sheet? This answer I want. So original or a scanned print sheet? This is a simple question.
For the 3 outstanding, I will not be able to see exactly, because I know some of the presiding officers too came around with a carbon copy. So, but what I can say without any doubt is that there are 3 polling station results that are outstanding. And when they are doing it, they will do it
Mr. Speaker,
with the agents of the parties. Thank you.
I think if I'm going back to the question
the questioner, asks first. Mr. Speaker, so if he's going to collate the rest of the results with a scalping sheet, then there's a problem. That's a serious problem.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Speaker, I want to lay a premise where last week, Mr. Speaker, last week the Minister for Interior was here. I had the authority to ask him the state of the Ablekuma elections. Mr. Speaker, he said that after mentioning the 13th May issue, where they reported to the Electoral Commission that the court has raised, or one of the parties has raised an issue, that there's a pending court issue. Apart from that, the Electoral Commission have not written to them again. Mr. Speaker, I asked a second follow-up question to ask whether it is true that the Electoral Commission has not written to them. Mr. Speaker, the minister came back to emphasize that the Electoral Commission has not written to them asking for security. I want the Electoral Commission to now tell us, after 13th, how many times has it written to the police or the security agency requesting for protection to conduct the collation? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Commissioner.
After, if my memory, we wrote another one on the 15th of May. But we have a constant, someone at the police service who is in charge. We engage regularly. So we do that. But in terms of writing, we wrote on the 15th. 15th. Yes.
Well.
Yes. Yes. So we have somebody, one of the commissioners we engage regularly. Thank you.
Let me go to my senior.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sorry, Mr. Chairman. You are saying that you have written to the police to provide several times to provide you with security so that you can go ahead and then declare the results. Now, more than 5 months now, don't you think that you have to consider the idea of reorganizing the elections so that you can go ahead and declare the results for them to get a representation? Are you considering that option of reorganizing fresh elections? Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Please allow him to answer, please. I beg you.
No, that question has been asked, but I'll
I didn't hear that.
Respond. For your sake, you will respond again.
For emphasis.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. The Commission strongly believes that for the processes that have gone on so far, if we go back to the good people of this country that we are abolishing everything, it will not be good for our democracy. It will not be good for our democracy. Thank you. So let's allow the process to continue. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to ask, according to the explanation we have gotten here, it means that the results are not out because the office of the Attorney General has not given permission to the police or given advice to the police to give the protection that the Electoral Commission needs to declare. In other words, or is that the case? Or in other words, it means it's the Attorney General's office who is delaying the result. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Yeah, Chairman, thank you so much.
It's not a question. Irrelevant.
Chairman, thank you so much. Mine is a sequel to the inquiry Dr. Afo made earlier. Indeed, if I recall properly, the Deputy Commissioner told us that all is set for the declaration of the Ablekuma North result, except for the fact that they cannot provide security. and that my understanding is that it is only the police that is making this whole exercise impossible for them to declare. May I know clearly if they are ready with the original pink sheet of the 3 remaining polling stations? Original or not?
Honorable member, this question has been asked.
Speaker, respectfully, it's not been answered.
There are standing orders, a question that has been asked. You don't go back to it.
Speaker, Chairman, it's not been answered. It's not been answered.
The Chairman, as I indicated, Ablekuma North has 281 polling stations. We've been able to conclude 278. So the 3, when we get to the completion, the returning officer will be there to conclude the process. Thank you.
Honorable members, should I get to the... Yes, Jerry.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, I want to ask the Deputy Commissioner, was he able to use any scan sheets to declare election in Domi-Kwabenya?
Jerry, may you repeat the question, please?
Very well. Honorable Chair, just asking the Commissioner, the Deputy Commissioner, whether or not Electoral Commission ever used any scanned copies to declare elections in 2024.
Yes, Deputy Commissioner.
Chairman, thank you. In Domi-Kwabenya, what we did was we used the tally cards of the parties, which was even far beyond the scan sheet. But let me say this. The scan sheet were not used in isolation. The agents of the parties endorsed. So if you look at the narration, some point NDC will bring some carbon copies. Then the MPP people will endorse in that manner. So it wasn't, the scan copies were not used in isolation. And at a point when one of the parties decided not to accept, we invited the presiding officers who conducted the election, who supervised the elections in those specific polling stations. So nothing was done one-sided. Everything was done with the support of the 2 parties. Thank you.
Speaker, just a follow-up.
Yes.
Just a follow-up. Honorable Chair, are we saying that at all times material, all the pink sheets and scanned sheets were confirmed by the respective party agents, including the EC staff who were supposed to be doing this work?
Yes, Deputy Commissioner.
Yes, please.
Very well. Now, I'll take comfort. Do you then take the Minister for Education? The lady wants to talk, so I will give the ladies also the opportunity. And Matthew, then I come to the 2 leaders. Come again.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Let him listen to her first, then I'll come to you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Please, my question is, now that you don't have original copies of the 3 polling stations left, and they are scanned copies, how ready are you to declare the results? Because I know you need original copies to do that, but you don't have it. You still have scanned copies. So how ready are you, waiting for the security to give you protection to declare the results? Thank you.
Well. Yes.
I think I mentioned that we have done 278. The 3 will be handled by the returning officer. And I made the point that there are some of the presiding officers, just when you have called them to come and endorse the pink sheet, then they will probably even provide you with a carbon copy. So when we get there, we have the agents of the parties. This is something which is done at the collation center. Thank you.
Yes, let him go to Bandai. Honorable Matiinda. Yes,
although he's discounted some kind of proposition about a rerun. But I want to find out, if event that you want to rerun, will you need police service? Will you need security?
Yes, please.
You will need security?
Yes, please.
Thank you very much. I want to ask another question. We are improving. And in conducting elections, we need backups. So scan copies and other technology that you deployed, were the parties aware of some of these technologies that you deployed? Thank you.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Well. Let me come to Honorable Comfortdeyo.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, 98.9. Presidential and parliamentary election, we took just 1 day, 10 hours, and we had results. And we are having challenge with just one. MPP is saying 3 police stations. We are saying 37 police stations. Look at how you are going round. And 6 good months, still we are at where we are. The bureaucracy on this one is too much for us. Consider their mental health. If you want to rerun, it will take you just 10 hours, but you finish. So I'm begging you, if you cannot find results there, just do the 10 hours rerun.
Honorable Comfortdeyo, what is your question?
Women, above the women there, one of them will win. And their mental health, consider their mental health.
Honorable Comfortdeyo, what is your question?
Today and say thank you, Abrekumanov, for voting for me. Then the other one go and destroy it. Then this one to bring another signboard. Please, we need just 10 hours to solve this problem. The bureaucracy, I've now seen why we are having challenges. Because simple thing that you need 10 hours to do, look at how you are going. Going here, going there, seeking this, seeking that. I beg you, 10 hours, 1 day, fix the date, and let's go and do the rerun. 10 hours, 1 result.
Yes. Yes. Okay, let me give it to you.
Chairman. Chairman, I want to know from the EC. Based on 2 stories in the Bible. The first one is the 2 women who had gone to Solomon about the death of a child. And the one whose child was alive had insisted that the child alive should not be killed when the other one had requested for it. The second one is the David story, where David had so many wives and concubines, but still went for the wife of his commander. I want to know from the EC whether it is only the NDC that is requesting for a rerun of the whole election in Ablekuma North.
Well,
whether it is only the EC that is calling for the
Deputy
rerun,
Commissioner,
the NDC.
Deputy Commissioner, are you minded to respond to the question? Yes, let's hear you.
Election based on only 3 polling stations.
We've heard you.
We have data on them.
We have heard you. Yes, Deputy Commissioner.
The Ablekuma North Parliamentary Constituency election was contested by only 2 parties, the MPP and the NDC. So I don't know whether what he's saying will apply, but only 2 parties contested. And the EC, as I said, we believe that this must come to an end. So we are seeking the support of the House to help us to complete it. Thank you.
Okay, you're free Mrashibejafie, but it is still ongoing. Mrashibejafo no to a electoral commission and no representing the commission, Dr. Bosman Asare, or deputy commissioner. Okay, Honorable Harry Nadrusu is asking a question, Minister of Education. In a question.
They will come in a question form before I make my proposition. Mr. Electoral Commissioner, are you aware that declaration of results is governed by law?
Yes, Deputy Commissioner.
Yes, please.
And are you aware that the law that allows you to declare results defines where results should be declared?
Yes, Deputy Commissioner.
Is a police station one of those entities lawfully allied where you should declare results?
Deputy Commissioner.
No, the question
is a police station where results should be declared by the Electoral Commission in accordance with law and the constitutional instrument guiding your conduct of elections, whether presidential or parliamentary.
At times, circumstances allow that.
No, Mr. Speaker, you see, Mr. Speaker, that's why ordinarily I waited to listen. This House, Parliament, is the guardian of human rights and freedoms. And Parliament is the guardian of fundamental freedoms. And Parliament is the guardian of independent constitutional bodies. And now my observation, so that you understand where I'm coming. Mr. Speaker, let's not take these matters for granted. If you have 276 constituencies of the Republic, you declare results with outstanding 9, and you have the comfort to sleep and wait for 1 or 2 weeks or more to declare the rest. Do you know what will happen to our democracy if you had something akin to 2020? You know what will happen to our democracy? That you declare results and you have up to 9 constituencies, regardless. I'm not interested in who won the seat, but you have an independent electoral commission. You are to declare results. And Mr. Speaker, that results has an implication and consequence on the balance of power. On the balance of power. And the states, whether executive or parliamentary, assuming what would have happened to the country if we were not well behaved, that a certain portion of the population, one is aware that they have no elected representative in parliament, unacceptable. More so, they have to wait more than 30 days, 20 days for the Electoral Commission to do that. Mr. Speaker, it's about their integrity. For me, that's even shameful that today you are coming because Parliament have summoned you. What's the state of integrity of the Commission? That you conduct an election and you want to hold on.
Honorable Minister for Education, thank you. I think appropriate time.
No. Okay. No worries.
Honorable members,
to be you.
Honorable members, I have allowed him. To speak because of his standing. But please, honorable members, he has already asked 3 questions. He's now advising, and I think the commissioner was brought here to answer questions. Please, at appropriate forum, we will give him the opportunity to do what he's doing. But for now, I think we have done that. So can we now go to the leadership? Okay, let me give former minister for my friend, I gave him the opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, honorable.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to take over. Over from where my good friend, the Minister for Education, left off. That we are running a democracy, and we should allow institutions of state to work. I feel very sad as former Minister for Defense that the impression is being created that the Ghana police, and if they cannot do it, to be supported by the military,
cannot give the Electoral Commission protection for 3 constituencies. I feel very sad. 3 polling stations. I feel very sad. That is not the type of democracy. That is not the type of democracy we should be running. That there are 3 polling stations that should be declared to give over 300,000 people. Oh, but the man just spoke. The man just spoke. But Commissioner, leave him. Leave him. Leave him. Are you done?
Continue. If you are not done, continue.
Mr. Speaker, my colleague opposite is the chief whip of this House, the majority chief whip. It is his duty to bring order to the House. I'll leave it at that. It's your duty. I was sitting here as deputy leader 12 years ago. I sat here as deputy leader of the opposition 12 years ago. It's your duty to bring order to this House, and I'll leave it at that. If you want to heckle me next time, give it to a backbencher to heckle me. Not you. But, Mr. Chairman, is the commission telling me, because I've seen it done before, in 2004, 2008, I've seen it done in 2012, and even to 2016, is the commission telling me that they cannot set a date at the headquarters of the commission and declare the 3 police stations? Is that what you are saying?
Yes, Deputy Commissioner.
Are you saying that you cannot set a date for the 2 political parties if you have enough evidence to declare? You are saying you cannot set a date at your headquarters and declare the results?
Honourable Member, you've asked your question.
Mr. Chairman, the Commission has always made the point clear that we want to work with all the political parties to come to the conclusion of the exercise. And that's what the posture we've adopted, that we work with the MPP, the NDC, so that we complete the process. Mr. Chairman, let me say the Minister for Education was asking a question. We don't gazette collation centers. So in the wisdom of the EC, if a place we had intended to do the collation will give us a problem, we can change. And that was the reason why we had to go to the police headquarters, because we don't gazette collation centers. So if there is any problem, we just move to another place. Thank you.
Well.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Chairman, the whole nation is watching us. Here's my question. The constituency had 281 polling stations. 219 were collated with carbon pink sheets. That means 62 were left. How many of these 62 did the commission use scanned pink sheets to collate?
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, the 62, when I was reading, I made the point that the MPP also came with 25. I said NDC brought 54 carbon copies. MPP also brought 25 carbon copies. So for the scanned copies so far, with what we've done, 34. But as I said, the agents of the parties endorsed some of them. Then the others were also authenticated by the presiding officers of those various polling stations. Thank you.
So, Mr. Commissioner, is it the case that when a scan sheet is being used, the 2 parties must agree to it?
Must agree. The 2 parties must agree. So when it got to the point when one of the parties was not agreeing, we had to invite the presiding officers of those polling stations who signed off. So they were invited and they endorsed it. And all this was on national TV. Thank you.
Well, I'm now coming to leadership. We can. 98.9. What? Honorable members, we've had a lot. Let's now restrict. Let's now come to leader. Come again.
My question was, of the 62, and I'm giving a specific number, how many of the 62 did they use scanned pink sheets to collect? We want a direct response. 20, 30, 40.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, I said 34.
Well, honorable members, I think we've had. Now let me come to leadership. Come again. Yes. Honorable minority leader. Welcome.
Happy FM 98.9.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for the opportunity. Mr. Speaker, my first question, I will read the Hansard of this House dated the 11th of June 2025, which Hansard contains a response to a question asked by Honorable Nana Asafo-Adjei Aye on behalf of Honorable Daniel Nana Addo-Kenneth, MP for Okere. Mr. Speaker, at column 83, quote, question, Mr. Speaker, I beg to ask the Minister for Interior the specific arrangement made by the ministry to ensure the provision of adequate security for the collaboration and declaration for collation and declaration of parliamentary results of the Ablekuma North constituency. Now, the Minister of Interior, Alhaj Mohammed Mubarak Muntaka, responds as follows on column 83. Mr. Speaker, following the request by the Electoral Commission for the Ghana Police Service to provide security for the completion of the collation of Ablekuma North constituency parliamentary election results, National Election Security Task Force convened a stakeholder meeting with the Electoral Commission where it was agreed that the task force will meet both the NDC and the NPP before the proposed date for the completion of the collation. The answer continues at column 84. I continue to read. Mr. Speaker, during the meeting with the National Democratic Congress, the task force was informed that there is a pending suit at the Supreme Court bordering on the collation. The task force was subsequently served with a motion paper that had been filed at the Supreme Court objecting to the completion of the collation. Checks conducted by Election Task Force at the Registry of the Supreme Court by the Legal Directorate of Ghana Police Service confirmed the pending suit at the court. Unquote. Mr. Speaker, on the strength of this, I want to ask the Deputy Chair whether he has become aware that the Election Security Task Force, led by the police, is unable to provide security for the completion of collation of the outstanding 3 polling stations because of any court injunction, and if he's become aware whether they've been served with any court process in respect of that.
Yes, Honorable.
Mr. Chairman, we have not been served with any process. And as I said, the police has made us aware that they are getting the advice. So I know from next week we'll continue to engage them and we'll let them know maybe we want to do it on this particular day. Once they are ready to provide us the security, we'll just proceed. So again, from the side of the Electoral Commission, we are ready to conclude the process. Thank you.
Well, Chairman, I know that all these processes started before the 6th of May. And prior to the 6th of May, the general understanding was that when a process is filed in the Supreme Court or any superior court of adjudicature, and it's seeking some injunctive reliefs, once the process is served, parties must restrain themselves or that the process operates impliedly as a stay. Now, we know that in Kaseɛbɔ, which is some 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, the Supreme Court has been very unequivocal that nothing stops a constitutional body or a statutory body from undertaking a statutory or constitutional mandate unless expressly injuncted by a court. I'm just putting that across. Now, Mr. Deputy Commissioner, in your response to us, you made reference to Domiko Abenya and stated that Domiko Abenya also had similar challenges where parties, in this case, the candidate of the NDC and the candidate of MPP, both could not provide you with original pink sheets. You further went on to talk about the fact that both candidates could not also provide you with scanned copies of the pink sheet for you to validate. However, you were able to rely on some tally cards to conclude the results, and by the grace of God, our colleague on the other side was declared the MP-elect and eventually got sworn in by this House. May you explain what you mean by the tally cards in the absence of the scan pink sheet?
Yes, Deputy Commissioner.
Mr. Chairman, what the standard practice at the polling stations is that each of the candidates or the political parties, they have this card where their agents, they take inventory of the people who are coming to vote. When they finish, you're able to know the results for candidate A, candidate B. So all the parties, that has been the standard practice. So in Domiko Abenya, when we got to the point where we couldn't get the results, the original results, and there were no other avenues, we resorted to that. And indeed, it confirmed. So if my memory serves me right, when we were even declaring, when we were declaring the Domiko Abenya, one of the, I think the MPP candidate was not even there, but the commission went ahead to complete the process. So what we are doing now with reference to the Ablekumanov, we know we are well within the law. Administratively, anytime we have a challenge, we go around to see what we can do to get the results. And as I said previously, we should be very careful about the integrity of our process. If we are not very careful, we may end up getting people who go and disrupt the process because they know when they do that, we are going to have a rerun. And those are the things all of us must support to avoid. Thank you.
Yes. Yes, leader, please. We have a lot of it, so don't look at them. Look at me and go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, I was coming to this very important point, and the commissioner has managed to take the wind out of my very good sail. But it needs emphasis
that although the candidate of the MPP, Mr. Mike Okwe Jr., objected and protested, he lawfully exercised those rights without coming to your offices to obstruct, thereby you declaring for the other candidate, because I was indeed at the time, an authorized officer from our party to coordinate the process. We disagreed, and I said no, but you had relied on precedents to say that it is the only way, and we agreed. That said, I want to know from you, these 3 polling stations you mentioned, you also talked about the presiding officers who appended their signatures having to confirm. May I know from you whether these 3 polling station scan sheets have had their presiding officers confirming their signatures on the pink sheets?
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, you know,
Commissioner.
When it comes to the parliamentary elections, the one in charge is the returning officer. From the engagement we have with the returning officer, he tells us he's ready to complete the process. So if the returning officer tells us he's ready, then I believe that he should have what it takes to complete the process. Thank you.
Yes. Now, this is question 4.
No problem. This is the 4th.
Yeah, this is the 4th.
No, that's okay. Mr. Deputy Commissioner, the Honorable Haruna Idrisu, a very respected senior member of this House, whose politics started way before this August House. And as a senior member, former leader, and now education minister, he's raised a very important constitutional issue, which matter has received the blessing of another senior member, Honorable Dominic Nitiwo, to the effect that as a constitutional body,
98.9,
you owe a sacred duty to the Constitution and to the people. All you've said today tells us one thing: you are ready. Now, is there any lesser price to pay? Is there any lesser price to pay than to discharge your duty and suffer any punishment for it? Because, Mr. Chairman, the Deputy Commissioner is saying that all they need is police protection. But in the fight for civil liberties and in the protection of rights and freedoms, people have suffered for it. I want to ask you, don't you think that you can take the moral high ground with all the confirmations done, like you did in the Domiko Abenya? Domiko Abenya, when you were declaring, there was no police. I was available. Domiko Abenya, there was no police. A party protested, but you proceeded. So don't you think that on the strength of what Mr. Idrisu and Mr. Nitiwo have advised, coupled with the very point I'm making, you as a commission can boldly proceed to conclude this so that Ghanaians will see that the police has delayed you and you have proceeded to do your constitutional duty even at the peril of your life. Don't you think that you would have to proceed on that part?
Yes, Deputy Commissioner.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. I think the Commission has looked at several options, and the Commission came to the conclusion that we think it will be in the best interest of the Commission and the country to have all the parties on the same page for us to make progress. So we think that, and we coming here is an excellent opportunity for us, for the House, to ensure that all of us are on the same page, because we believe that we have come very far as a country, and this is something we should be able to agree in the interest of our country's democracy. Thank you.
I'll give the final question, yes.
Mr. Commissioner, although I find this your response quite rich and curious, the rules of engagement now do not permit me to go on a certain path with you. But if you're talking about collective cooperation of parties to give a certain positive signal, then the suggestion out there that the Commission was not fair in the matter of Michael Okwe Jr. of Domiko Abenya will suffice because you are anchoring your reason. You are anchoring your reason on the grounds of fairness, that the Commission wants both parties to be available. But in the Domiko Abenya, in a similar way, one party protested and was not available, but you proceeded to declare. So don't you think that, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chairman, I laid the foundation. Let me finish. Don't you think that the path you are choosing, that until all the parties are available, will amount to EC itself sidestepping its precedents in the Domiko Abenya situation, and that EC would be acting unfair to Mr. Michael Okwe, who protested and who objected and who disagreed, and EC insisted that, well, this is the right path, and you proceeded without him.
Deputy Commissioner, if you are minded, you can respond. If you are not,
I think there is an aspect I would like to speak to.
Mr. Chairman, Order 89.1 does not permit a supplementary question to introduce a new matter that was not contained in the original question. That is the rule. The leader must learn to play by the rules. He can't introduce Domiko Abenya into this matter. If he's minded, he should file his own question on Domiko Abenya, like I have done in respect of Abdekumanov. Then we interrogate it. But he cannot be suggesting that a wrong was done in the declaration of Domiko Abenya. It wasn't contained in the original question. The law does not permit him to do that.
Honorable Deputy Commissioner, that's why I'm giving the. If you are mindful to respond, fine. Other than that, I'll ask the leader to file a separate question. Are you responding?
Mr. Chairman,
please.
Okay,
yes,
let's.
I think what I want to say is
that you've asked the question, please. You've asked the question. You let me respond.
Mr. Speaker, I'm concerned. Mr. Speaker, please. Mr. Speaker,
Honorable,
Mr. Speaker,
please, you listen to me.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, with respect, you didn't call the chief whip. I'm drawing your attention to a matter. You didn't call the chief whip, yet he came in to make a determination on a matter. I beg of you, Mr. Speaker, we all want to play it fair. We all want to play it fair. When a question is asked, you've asked him to answer. All right? You've asked him to answer. Let us play the rule fairly. The man, he referred to Domiko. Mr. Speaker, he referred to Domiko Abenya in his answer. He copiously referred to Domiko Abenya, and that is the reason why I asked Domiko Abenya in the supplementary.
Mr.
Speaker, let's play fair.
So am I not playing fair? He just got up, spoke, yet I asked the Deputy Commissioner to respond to the question. It means he didn't hear me before speaking. So I've asked the Deputy Commissioner to go ahead and respond to you. So, Deputy Whip, please.
Speaker, with your leave, let me read Order 89.1.
Honorable
Speaker,
member.
Please, bear me out. Order 89.1 is to the effect that as soon as the question is answered, any member, beginning with the member who asks the question, may, without notice, ask a supplementary question for further clarification.
Okay, so it's been back and forth on Ablekuma North, outstanding parliamentary election results. Now, Mrashibe Jafono question Deputy Commissioner Dr. Bosman Asare Nuhun Komona Ekoso. So, Neoho Sisia say officially Electoral Commission say aka 3 outstanding polling station results from Ablekuma North and Sana Wetimia quality. Commission say Omo I rely on scanned copies of pink sheets. Both parties are authenticated, Omo validate, and Omo de ya babidu empempe so aka 3 polling stations. Earlier, Emra Mene NDC NPP for Kasa from Ablekuma North we no. Na Omo train a home manson. While NPP for Kasa aka 3 polling stations. NDC for say aka 62 polling stations. But then the Electoral Commission has clarified it, say aka 3 outstanding polling stations. Philip Jima, Ablekuma West constituency youth organizer, watena say, Ali Ibrahim, a member of the NDC communication team, and also atena say. By the way, Philip, a member of the MPP, as well. Penny for Mamo Ajo. Parliament, you na time in
very interesting. It's you know. Now you see it near where the echo.
Yes, I see free na. Oh, and twas in free.
Jim and I'm so watch church for the one watch I'm so facts in natural.
Jim Cramentin voice every day. Right, say
fast read that.
I'm about 2 months now. I'm friend so about.
Yeah, the nyame ase.
Me face work of PBBC. Okay, I'm share Ablekuma West in person so for nyina. Me share Ablekuma West in person so nyina. We be o team free down so man.
Eh, ono West la also.
E ba chopa.
Yeah, no
we be o team be and me share no ma share Ablekuma West constituency executives, hard working constituency executives and the youth am Ablekuma West. Any youth wing executives also, coordinators,
maybe the next 6 minutes.
Yeah, no much Honorable Esla. I will be a magazine. I mean, Cosun Shano, no one by mine. Much Adachi in Canada or in Japan. Michiano Baby will be an announcement on any birthday. The reason Yamin Cosmo on by now, the Delanimo, Yamin Fandom. Open Ablekuma North. Yenina yenim sita MPP kitamache now share all the previous elections
from 96
we share from all the previous elections yenina na yenina yenim ya gap no esuye pa aso sing both on me communica ya ne gap wom te sita obi andan twin say enne ka bedu tibia saying enye mwanwa ese o kasa no o se NDC for no cry kasa 66 or so, 62 are as yet to be collated. And MPP so him say aka 3 and near you. And meka abesi say
question is yenye a declaration na yenye rerun.
Make me do on. It's an ocean common course na NDC for nyina take push as enko rerun. And MPP, yeah, they say in uncle no declare mine. Because of that, no, you say you support to. I say easy, Emma and protection we hear from police, not in the security agencies, no. By making available, now intimate declare resource, no. But me question now may expect immediate proceedings in our parliament, no. And you say a year both parties, no. Coalition so far no my no. Is it close? And I say, and you close. Say close the say all 3 polling stations in Bekanwa. Will it make any difference? And say make any difference, and so make it clear, so that they won't waste anybody's time. What just here?
But it is obvious. Say, Omo Babi dum pempenswa aka 3 na 3 no munya yo muntimi declare. Then it means that very closer. The 3 polling stations can make an impact.
No, until say
then anka den anka etwa anka 3 di anka.
I agree, but
if the margin or the gap is very wide, they wouldn't be waiting for 3 polling stations and some declare.
Anyway, but and again, it's a proceedings, you see, I think leader Afenyo, it raise tangible questions as to how Domi Kwabenya issue was handled. And you see, General Naso, as I seen it to me, I declare election, I declare my NDC, and I'm not going to say, Nippon declare man on all parliaments. Only you understand. But here, no, different narration has been taken as a unless a here police, but hono, Oman consider police. Unless a hono, only one party they declared, Hano here 2 parties. A whole lot. But young people feel say it's easy entity and fairly.
But is there not a difference between Ablekuma North and Dom Kwabenya? In the case of Dom Kwabenya, the level of violence Yehu Ablekuma North, Yehu Bisa, in Tibiana, they didn't need the security to do the job. But Ablekuma North, the violence was so clear. The ballot boxes in the number of times someone attacking EC regional office. Unyesho said the stakes in terms of security, na a high Ablekuma North intina ekobanisa.
Of course, a bit man okay. But now I wanted to say Domi Kwabenya a bigger as Ablekuma North. It's Osha commanders and plus attention on should be high as Ablekuma North. Nevertheless, me want to say abide a year Emma tension eba. Abide no a year this current administration. Because I think you see first a raise alarm about security. To the extent say a year honorable Asafoje quite raise of parliament. You understand? And a year interior minister you go back and forth on this issue. And then Muhammad saying it doesn't prevent a year abino so be provide security. Ama very clear results. As it means abino or inter who say you declare you declare my MPP until delay na. A whole lot of questions are you to be solved from. Me I'm no. The idea about conversing raising here. Now, then yamu yisi kasano. Or kasa say pin sheet na so for no. Omu nyewe say omu ni pin sheet. Ombe to declare. But the question is pin sheet, ombe start pin sheet no. Then law no ya form. Let's say in worst case scenario you rerunner. Of can you say no. It's that person's I'm on mine ebe boka ana. It's your mind buying loss in your jumana. Bibi. Loss in your juma.
Legitimate question.
You understand? And some of them were seen in camera.
Yeah.
It's a then a buying so you have a sound for me, I think I'm with declare those people as a buying so much. Now serve as evidence, and I say, and you will say too, the ordinary people out there.
Because you ask yourself, say, are there an electoral commission and a train aboso? Meanwhile,
people cause it
a causal problem, no, pink sheets, pink sheets, mukoshe ballot boxes, no. Police phone to me, and nobody is hailing the IGP before Parliament to answer questions. I get your point.
You see. Na osha na bisa say IGP na ya fa no sabi or boss ana say obi na kitani mo control na say obi na check na so onye. Crime is crime. You understand? So if indeed you say a crime doesn't have expiring dates. So if indeed aban we anya sabi then aban for beba some of us be reason. You understand? And if they have to do something about it, you do it now. And then you are creating this tension. Kaya ninka resource no we say no kaya clever now kaya declare ananyasa tenu na some parliament kaya say go court to other important matter no see they are wasting their time. You understand? On one you understand? So mumu amu create san in say who way mo na ma create say no today I don't want to talk about the main matter. Me chuma gens will say matter na esi no yisi no ye ndomi kwabenya no onye the same thing and a second eso ye san krofo no di nyamonsem no aban no should go after them na ye nyina ye hu nya suade ma ye nyina
ali mamintio
aban no adi kan be Canada that say investigation koso I mean ye ka omo a
me yi videos ni bi wa ha
ye ka omo a omo abaya
violence no cause na media no ho the videos are there the
investigation cause kan bia so obia ne ho edom bia no aban be make sure say ye betwe na so edo kwan say ye kika ye ho take step bia a chire be no ye ho ntimi ne agima mesrɛ say obenya abotre ama aban yi na ene betie afenyo Markins ne Dr. Boss Masare me pick one thing our conversation mo. I mean, afenyo Markins are sorry okay can nsem no. Easy Boss Manasari response for the mind is or per se NDC ni NPP for the same page and sana watimi declare results no. We HPF sampa this time the easy truly independent omo ye omajuma sedie ese na efata mebo wo ba so say omo timi I realize sampa this time no in the history of this country no the MPP NDC and so emata in decision making ye dey for ya can say election ya organize dia election no ye win ye said you winning boom boom in other areas are na MPP stronghold yetimi agi free MPP for nsemono sa pepepe na yetimi winning Ablekumanov etimenti ase minim de ntia up to date kamia ko say MPP for nyina esuro say e besan akoto aba no foforo
enigide no so winning
say you be I mean ajima Mr.
Mike no
what distract me o me say abaya you got to you know wa wo ti he wonim say abaya we ne any say no patient no ya bi ama bibia ye basa atroka we akọ parliament e be koswa several times no munya hu how to handle the situation so what I say the answer no mro wa we no bia kra tam asem ina akọ court ya dia na akọ wosi etam kwa enti you say to avoid all this no I mean yensan konko to abano foforo enti adena NPP for suru menti o ma say Jima adentina musoro
3 outstanding police stations that didn't go to foforo
I'm not 3 outstanding police station you know debating in abai ebi say omo years can you know
I say from 62 na ya na nya abeka 3 adeni enquiry run
well 3 no entomo nya rerun na nyomo nko declare results na je no mo dwen
say almost say protection
say Are ableko finish the domeko bejan police has who was say and eko ho no
but in the case of Ablekumanov there has always been violence anytime you attempt to call it.
Yes, I understand. You see, the problem about Ablekumanov for United States, I'm stating this because of what I know. NPP ni is, you know, kanana.
Evidence.
Me say, allege. We were very convinced beyond reasonable doubt to say, kwati kwine bi so etimi echim yensaje result every yensa so what they say enti nyesa de a ka security a wo pede de wo he security say
easy former headquarters the last time they attempted collating results
yes
emranti edi moto stormy ho mask kra de ankomu prano kra almost stormy ho papa easy louvers police fojina ho pa they couldn't even handcuff one person.
Okay, that was which year?
This year,
2025 year.
Yes.
Well,
I think this was in May.
Well, media mestre say easy no say menem de nti omo some security.
And then I'm actually
woman no menem de omo ya omo protection omo no menem de omo ya mestre say I mean say security no omo pede ya na yenka yempeja yenko bibia obema campe ho na sojafo ewo a omo betimi abo omo ho ban. So what they say, ye they call Bema Campa, Nanka, Yasama, IGP, ni, I mean, yes, you poor mono declare results, no. because results no you say
na me ka so Pereira
na also say I'm so here protection and I'm boy
but wo ani so Pereira
me say ka de be ma bibia easy to avoid all these wola balloon in some I mean to go and then conduct the election again. Democracy is a very expensive exercise. Say to me person be spend here a very difficult exercise for you. So what I say.
Okay.
But if the EC is still insisting, say, I mean, security no more here, there, young for more, no more che. I mean, Ablekumanov also matter in Parliament. Up to this 6 months, in Omonia representation, be said the now, dear, Manu is no. I don't know. James and my Parliament and babies answer questions.
I said you want see her.
Oh, the baby, you don't hear on one. That's why I didn't do. Other than Yam Shishana.
I didn't name Shishano.
Minam say, I'm from Mamma say, Wabo Humpa, Minim did. I said, Nakonia, no one here. I said, you must take a
said no more. No more Casamu be in if you.
And I order over your day. I don't think I know my Parliament and babies. And babies
influence your
and then come ready on your tenant catch it. You but see a tenant can
be a moon in the open.
Not this year, no, a time on MPP were time on MPP were them, not the beer your tenant can. Baby, every corner, and the Diana is here. Dr. Bosman Asari. And was someone is on Parliament. Some maybe some go to me here no. What they to papa so no koha no see ha na koha. I mean what is all this? You say election no. You kon to no foforo. Some so na mo se mo na mo we ne ya. Wo mo amokoto aba no mo nyina eda so ye den etiase. Wo mo na be san to. You to no foforo. Ade mo na mo vote bill na. You know, buy. You say we'll provide the necessary, financial, you
want to waste taxpayers' money.
Waste taxpayers' money. Matimi got to $58 million. I'm now. I said the expensive hole in the whole world. 50. I don't know any waste. Send your ben here to organize this election to get people representation. Ever waste somebody else. Ever waste somebody else.
As far as I'm concerned,
about waste.
Enough sitting on.
Massa.
I can tell an authority and say you're really sitting on. Okay, Solomon time. They're not any banner. They're not any banner. No, say, Mamunku Abofrano. Now, Abofrani Nyana Suman. They're not any banner.
So, how are you related?
The same applies to any one.
How are you related?
Go to the for because Omzoma Luzu. It's young go to a banner for fraud. Jean didn't name. For sure, that's a lesson. And you really hands down. You see, Madam Fefena, I have sir. She no collation room, your internal collation room. And it's a borough piper glass, my getting crab pride. Oh, that's the pin sheet. The kind of nyama we get in this election, near who be that. But unim, what she be the next lesson. Yeah, could have been war plan we all almost making sure say almost
2028
Madam team ni nyina so ase na de ne nkomo no asi. Up next, I happy Kaseɛbɔ meeting and a Bismarck Brown.
Your property holds the power to transform your future. Welcome to